Live from Golden Eagle Stadium on the campus of Del Oro High School. Touchdown Productions, celebrating 16 years of high school sports television, is proud to present the 56th Annual Optimist All-Star Football Classic, presented by the Sacramento Bee. Today, your North All-Stars take on the South All-Stars. It's the final football game of the year, and all the action starts right here, right now. It's your NorCal Game of the Week. The best football players in the Sacramento area come to Golden Eagle Stadium today to play in their final game of their high school career as the Optimist Club of Sacramento presents the 56th Annual All-Star Football Classic. Good afternoon, football fans, wherever you are across our worldwide audience. This is Marty Mortensen, the voice of Touchdown Productions. Alongside me and my longtime partner, Paul Brown, doing the color. Handling the stats in today's game will be Steve Sitter, and down on the field is Scott Hopper. Our executive producer and director is Gilbert M. Dominguez, and he is joined by the Touchdown Productions sports team of Daniel Paddock, Remington King, Gerald Davenport, and Ruben Polanski.
That's right, Marty. And, you know, Touchdown Productions is happy to bring this All-Star game to our viewers for the very first time, and we're looking forward to bringing you this contest for the next several years.
Well, it's a very special game to play in, and one of the stories this year is on the north side where Coach Casey Taylor talked about playing in this game back in 1988. His coach that year was Mike Alberghini, the very same person he is co-coaching with today.
Wow, that's really crazy. And there's so many stories like that, Marty. But let's throw it over down to the field. I believe they're introducing the players.
Number 79, an offensive lineman from Rio Linda, Mitchell Dunn. Wearing number 80, a wide receiver from Rockland, Dominic Giampoli. Number 82, a tight end from Nevada Union, Austin Marks.
There's Austin Marks. We saw him on Touchdown Productions so many times, Marty.
Yeah, he's an outstanding year at Nevada Union.
He did.
Andrew Endicott. And number 94, a defensive lineman from Grand Bay, Tyler Arneson. The North coaching staff is comprised of head coach Mike Alberghini from Grant. The offensive coordinator is Casey Taylor from Del Oro, Dan Gazzaniga from Del Oro, Kevin Will, Jason Sauvé, John Sullivan from Del Oro. The defensive coordinator from Grant is Reggie Harris. Also from Grant, Rob Alberghini, Paul Reed, Deshaun Stark, and Ronald Richardson. The athletic trainer is Kelly Lucy. And there are your North All-Stars.
There's a good shot of the North squad as they're about ready to introduce the South All-Stars for this Optimist football game.
Wearing number 1, the defensive back from Burbank, Keith Marcus. Number 2, a running back from Pleasant Grove, Isaiah Saunders. Wearing number 3, a wide receiver from Franklin, Jadian Sanders. Number 4, a running back from Elk Grove, Robert Frazier.
We've seen Robert before on Touchdown. We'll look forward to seeing him
number 5,
tonight.
the quarterback from Oak Ridge is Jason Samuels. Wearing number 6, the quarterback from Franklin, Trent Ballas. Number 7, a running back from Burbank, Isaiah Williams. Number 8, a wide receiver from Sacramento, Lewis Macklin.
My high school.
Number 9,
Sacramento
a wide
High.
receiver from Oak Ridge, Byron Bain Jr. Wearing number 10, the defensive back from Cosumnes Oaks, Aaron Ross. Wearing number 11, a defensive back from Davis, Amari Hayes. Number 12, a wide receiver from Christian Brothers, Jalen Walker. Wearing number 14, a defensive back from Burbank, Eric Washington. Number 15, a running back from Franklin, Steven Rogers. Number 16, a kicker from Elk Grove, Justin Singh. Number 17, a running back from Franklin, Kyron Harris. Wearing number 18, the defensive lineman from Burbank, Edwin Fakua. Number 19, a linebacker from Elk Grove, Trevor Harrow. Wearing number 20, a linebacker from Christian Brothers, Ben McFadden. Number 21, the defensive back from Franklin, Marcus Green. Wearing number 22, a linebacker from Laguna Creek, Devontae Katchek. Wearing number 24, a linebacker from Pleasant Grove, Kyrie Hampton. Wearing number 29, a wide receiver from Laguna Creek, Jason Williams. Number 30, the defensive lineman from Oak Ridge, Zach Laybourne. Number 31, a linebacker from Monterey Trail, Sterling Powell. Number 34, a linebacker from Tuscaloosa Oaks, Etuachi Levy. Number 44, a defensive lineman from Franklin, Riley Simmons. Number 50, an offensive lineman from Elk Grove, Jenny Cruz. Wearing number 51, an offensive lineman from Burbank, Noel Pinnock. Number 52, an offensive lineman from Oak Ridge, Joseph Chapman. Wearing number 53, the defensive lineman from Ponderosa, Curtis Strong. Number 54, defensive lineman from Sheldon, Cortez Kirby III. Wearing number 55, a defensive lineman from Monterey Trail, Juliana Umafuki. Number 56, an offensive lineman from Burbank, Shaquem Higano. Number 57, an offensive lineman from Franklin, Connor Adams. Number 59, an offensive lineman from Pleasant Grove, James Cisneros. Wearing number 64, an offensive lineman from Rosemont, Patrick Knowles. Number 70, an offensive lineman from Christian Brothers, Vincent Johnson. Wearing number 72, an offensive lineman from Oak Ridge, Kareem Bilal. And number 74, an offensive lineman from Oak Ridge, Jason Chapman. The South coaching staff is comprised of head coach from Pleasant Grove, Joe Catalico, offensive coordinator from Franklin, Michael Johnson. Also from Franklin, the offensive coaching staff, Jim Rubialis, Jim Hall, Randy Rubialis, David Danielson, Jason Vanderpool. The defensive coordinator is John Heffernan from Burbank. Also from Burbank, James Pally, Irvin Kendall, Mason Mitchell, Chris Nesbitt, Francisco Ragsdale. The athletic trainer, Brittany Abay, and Aaron Fraser, along with Jan Sexton. And now, if you please, rise and remove your hats and join Christina Smith from the Berkeley School of Music in Boston as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last evening, whose broad stripes and bright
Christina Smith.
Very nice job in there by Christina Smith from home on vacation, I guess, from Boston. And we're out here at Del Oro Stadium, where we're about ready for this 56th annual All-Star Game, as Paul Brown, Steve Sitter, Marty Mortensen on hand today to bring you all this exciting action. And Paul, you've got some insight about this game, huh? What do you
know, it's an interesting tidbit from my family. My brother actually played in this game in 1972. Steve Brown was a halfback from Enterprise High School, and I remember it was a big deal for our family as well as it was for Steve. Steve still tells that story, and he's 60 years old now. So this is a big game for these players, and everybody's going to enjoy it, especially the families.
And it's been quite an experience for me, because in 1956, when this Optimist game got started, I was just a sophomore in high school, and I went to this game. So it was the very first game. So it's a tradition for me. And we've got doing the stats for us today. On my left is Steve Sitter, and Steve, what do you think about this day today?
It's just a great game. This is where all of their hard work during the season, everything that they've done and worked so hard for, is really paying off. They're getting recognition for what they love doing, and this is just a way for them to go out in a pretty good blaze of glory.
It certainly is. And one thing, with looking at all of these all-star players, all seniors, all graduating, going on to college and whatever they're going to be doing in their future life here, as it's just like a pro lineup today, because you got none of the players have got to go both ways today.
That's absolutely true. And it's also a chance for some of the players to get a look by some of the scouts from some of the major colleges that will be here to check out this game today.
And we'll be right back with a kickoff after we send you back for the latest update on who's bringing us this game today, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Jason Hommel from the JH Mint. We have boxes of Silver American Eagles that people buy by the truckload to protect their portfolios from inflation. Our new X-ray F-gun can assay your gold ring in seconds. You can contact us online at jhmint.com. We have up-to-the-minute prices available in-store and online, or you can visit us in Grass Valley, down in Auburn, closer to Sacramento. You can also sign up to our email newsletter at silverstockreport.com. Inflation is picking up steam, and you need silver and gold to protect yourself from inflation. You can get silver and gold right here at JH Mint.
B&C is your neighborhood home and garden center for both builders and consumers. They carry everything you need. In their garden center, you'll find a complete nursery along with expert advice on trees, shrubs, perennials, and garden enhancements. They're open 7:30 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 8 to 5 on Sunday. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center in the Fowler Center, Grass Valley.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home or property? Placer Title is your local title and escrow company located right here in the heart of Nevada County. We combine the stability of a national insurer with all the benefits of on-site title and escrow professionals. Being voted the best title company by the union readers for the past 7 years is a true testament to our local roots and unparalleled customer service. Stop by one of our 2 convenient locations, and thank you for keeping your business local.
The Hauser family reminds you, if it's round, rubber, and it rolls, then you're sure to find it at Plaza Tire and Auto Service. From regular car and truck tires to small specialty tires for your trailers and golf carts, you can trust Plaza Tire has the tire for you. They stake their reputations on it every day. Plaza Tire and Auto Service. Auto repair done on your schedule, not theirs, in Penn Valley, Nevada City, and in Colfax. It's the 36 Hours of Christmas on NCTV, featuring performances by the NU Choir, the NU Band, Claude Hedgate's Christmas from the Past, the Placer Hillman Choir and Placer Hillman Band, and Center for the Arts Winter Dance, and many, many more. It's the 36 Hours of Christmas from 12 noon till 12 midnight, only on NCTV.
We're about ready to have the kickoff here. Kill the mic. And back to receive for the South. We've got Frazier, number 4. And it looks like, is it number 15 or number 12, Walker? 11? It's hard to see. 17. Harris is back there. So here comes the kick of the 56th annual All-Star game, and taking it over, fumbling into the end zone, and it's going to be brought out to the 20-yard line, and they'll start 1st and 10 on their own 20 as that ball was mishandled at the end zone, and once he took a step into the end zone, that was it. Ball comes out to the 20 in high school football, and we'll be ready to go with the first play from scrimmage for the South. We'll try to set the lineups for you as they'll be shuffling in a lot of players into today's game, in and out. A big squad for both teams.
And Marty, of course, the field conditions are a big story of this game. It has been raining all night long.
That's been over an inch of rain already.
Over an inch of rain, so the field is definitely wet. These quarterbacks are not used to taking snaps from center, so I'm sure there's going to be some fumbling today.
Well, Samuels now, quick handoff over the left side, goes for about 4 yards.
Isaiah Williams takes the handoff from Jason Campbell. Brought down by Matt Gordon.
Let's go down on the field to Scott Hopper and have him give us an update on what the field looks like here.
Thanks, Marty. The winter forecast calls for rain all weekend, including snow in the foothills. Fortunately, down here we have artificial turf, but the rain will still make it slippery, and the cold will still be a factor. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Scott. And now 3 receivers out, and in motion is Frazier. Now let's see if they call a flag. It's timeout on the field. Offside against the North, so they'll move it 5 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd down and about 2 yards for a first down. So Harris is in the backfield behind Samuels as they all check their play card on their arm. Now I think we're set. 2nd and just a little over 1 yard. In motion, quick handoff over the right side, got an opening, and he could go.
He is.
He's at the 40, the 30, 20, 10, touchdown, and that's Robert Frazier on the 3rd play of the game. And went around the right side, Paul, and off to the races.
And the Elk Grove halfback that we saw do the same thing day in and day out, virtually every game for Elk Grove this year, Robert Frazier, who deservedly is an all-star and proved it right there, goes 70-plus yards for the first score of this football game. I think we're going to have a lot of scoring today.
I think so, and he got a great block in there on the safety. If we have the replay, we'll have to take a look at that block that sprung him loose over the right side, and that was a big 6 points. So here's the attempted extra point, and it looks like it's good from Singh. And the South quickly goes up with only 2 minutes off the clock, and it's going to be a 7-0 ball game here for the South. All right. So a big run in there by Frazier. And you're right, he against Nevada Union, you could see that all night long.
You bet. And, Robert Frazier, he broke a lot of rushing records this year playing for Elk Grove. We're going to see some good rushing on both sides of the ball, Marty, and we can talk about that as the North team starts to handle this football.
There's your Placer title scoreboard for today's game, and quickly up on the South goes ahead by a score of 7-0. Monroe back for the North. Here comes, it's going to be a little squigger off the side of his foot. That ball's going to go out of bounds at about the 45-yard line, but I think it'll go out. They'll probably get the ball on the 35 to start this. Let's see where they spot it.
He's got to be embarrassed on that kick. It went a total sum of about 15 yards. It went off the side of his foot, went straight up in the air, and died like a quail in the track area.
Yeah, the wind kind of blew it off to the wind's blowing from the from the south to the north here, and it's so they'll take the ball on their 30. The North take it on their 37-yard line.
So we're going to see here Kyle Cota, of course, of Nevada Union. We've seen him many times here on Touchdown Productions. Very accurate passer, and we'll see him at quarterback.
There's a handoff trying to go over the right side, and that is Monroe, and he takes it. He managed to get on his own about 3 yards.
Stop by Riley
Simmons making the stop.
Second down and 5 to the North.
So Cota calls out the plays. Monroe behind him. Now he's looking to pass. Got a receiver out down the flat, but now he throws out into the flat on the right side, and it is completed to Marks.
That's Austin Marks, his teammate at Nevada Union.
Boy, we've seen that a lot this year, haven't we, Paul?
We certainly have, and he and Marks are all hooked up early. Marks, the tight end, a 6'5", 210-pounder.
So that'll be a first down. The ball will be spotted on the 41-yard line, and two receivers out here to the left, one to the right, looking to pass again out into the flat. And that goes for about 9 yards, but a flag is down on the field. Winston, the completion, as he just took it down and made a deep post and then turned it to the sideline, and then the ball was completed to him. But see, they're going to have a penalty. Let's watch the referee to see what he indicates.
Marty, that was a very typical Cota pass. He is a very accurate passer within about 30 yards. The long ball, not so much, but he certainly can throw it. On these field conditions, right now they're throwing with the wind, and there is considerable wind on the field. You can expect Cota to maybe try the long ball, but stay within that 35 comfort zone that he has.
So a 5-yard penalty, and that was illegal receiver downfield. So now it's 1st and 15. Big pass rush. They got a screen pass set up, and that goes to Monroe, and they get back the penalty yards plus about another 6, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 3.
Boy, well conceived play that time by the North. You want to use Brandon Monroe as much as you can. That's the halfback from Del Oro that did so much. Tremendous courage this year and carried for over 2,000 yards.
No huddle, quick count, and that ball's handed off to Monroe, and he's going to take it for the first down inside the 28-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the North as they continue to drive down the field. Cota calls the plays at the line of scrimmage, and they're all set. Two receivers now out to the left, and there is a handoff to Monroe, right side, makes the cut, and maybe gets a yard. The South covered that up very nicely.
Boy, that was a vicious tackle.
Yeah, right.
Looking at that was number 22, Steve Sitter. Who would that be for the South team?
22 for the South team would be Devontae Castex, Laguna Creek.
Good hit by Levante.
So as a gain of about a yard, now going back to pass, and they a deep pass at corner, nice move, but it just was not completed as the pass was thrown to Winston.
And you know the reason that pass wasn't completed, Maury Hayes out there from Davis, the defensive back, had him covered like a blanket.
He made it look like he was going to do a little down and out, and then he faked that and then broke for the corner of the end zone. So here we go again, once again, no huddle. And Cota now looking to pass again, and has got him right over the middle.
Cota's pass complete to Dominic Jim Poley.
Jim Poley was the receiver there as they'll move the sticks again inside the 15. The ball is set right on the 15-yard line.
Jim Poley, a wide receiver from Rockland. Cota's got so many targets he could go to, all of them all-stars.
Here comes Monroe again, and he grinds his way out for a couple. That's got to be hard to do for them. They've only been practicing for about a week and a half, and no huddle, and they go and call the plays right at the line of scrimmage. So well-organized North team here, and now A fake, a rollout. Coda looking in the end zone. He's got his man, and look, could be a touchdown.
It is.
It is.
Tyler Winston for the score.
To Winston.
The Antelope receiver, Tyler Winston, finding a little room in the sideline, and Coda with his accurate throwing arm picks off him right there for the touchdown, right at the cone.
And Hayes was the defender, and he kind of slipped as the cut was made, and that enabled the pass to be completed. Coming in to kick for the North is Endicott, and the ball is up and no good, off to the right. So there's your score at 7-6 right now, as both teams taking their opening kickoff and scoring with 11 minutes left to go in this first quarter. So you were right, Paul. A lot of scoring will take place here today with these finds.
I think the most underused player on the field will probably be the punter for both teams. Because if we're going to go with Kyle Coda and a no-huddle offense, he is going to be very, very effective for this Blue North team as we progress in this game. You know, Marty, the extra point, I think it was a bad snap.
Oh, was it?
I think so. He had trouble putting that ball down, and you can expect that with this field being as soggy as it is. Those snaps from center are going to be very important as this game goes on.
There's your Placer title scoreboard for today's Optimist 56th annual Optimist All-Star Game, North versus the South, and 7-6 right now is your score, as that extra point was missed on that apparent bad snap. And now we'll have the North kick off from their own 40-yard line, and back to receive. It looks like Hayes and Frazier. Oh, 17. That is Harris. That ball's kicked deep with the wind onto the end zone, so they'll bring the ball back out to the 20-yard line. So they'll start their second series of downs in this football game, as the sun now peeks out through the clouds, and what looked like a real dark, windy day of rain has now turned into a kind of a beautiful day out here, Paul.
It really has, and there they are out there on the field. You can see the players for the South team preparing their offense again. It only took them 3 plays last time. Let's see how long it takes them to score this time, Marty.
Right, exactly. Now they're getting the South brings in their own ball. That's nice and dry and ready to begin their second series.
Also interesting to note, they have a new quarterback in for this series. Trent Spallas is in, replacing Jason Samuels, who was the quarterback for the first series.
Good observation there. Back with him is Williams, number 7 from Burbank. So here's the snap. Looking out into the flat, and it is completed. Immediately knocked down to Spain.
Back on coverage for the North, Jordan Powell.
Powell makes the stop, as that'll bring up second down and about 6.
One notable thing about the quarterbacks for the South, both Jason Samuels and Trent Spallas were both honor students. Perfect grades by both of those quarterbacks.
Now for the first time over center, and a quick handoff, but that goes absolutely nowhere and may have lost a yard, as the right side of the North line came up and stopped him cold and maybe threw him for a loss. So that'll bring up third down and about 7 yards.
That's coming up from his defensive back position. The Granite Bay cornerback, John Cooley, comes up and puts the whack on him. So third down now and long, Marty.
Everybody's looking over at their wristband to get the play. I formation now behind the quarterback. Trying to get a long snap count. They get it off, and now rolling out to his right and throwing, and almost intercepted, but then overthrown. Coming over for it was Henderson from the North. He had a good angle on it, but just over his hands. And that'll bring up fourth down. Just as you said there wasn't going to be any kicking going on, we got the kicker coming into the game now.
Sure do. You know, Trent Spallis, the quarterback, he doesn't seem to have a feel for his offense like we saw Coda. He rolled out that time looking to get away from the defender and threw a
nice rush in there by the North All-Stars right side of that line.
So true.
So now here's Singh back to punt. And almost blocked, and it's off the side of his foot, and it's going to go out of bounds at about the 27-yard. Well, it rolled forward, so that'll go to the 34, but the North will have great field position. Singh is struggling out there with his punting.
No doubt about it. That time, though, he had just to avoid it being blocked. I think he was just trying to rush it so that it wasn't going to be blocked.
So the North's in great field position to start their second drive, and now in with a new quarterback will be Nagasic. There's your for the first quarter score, 7-6, and we still have 9:20 left to go in this first quarter. New quarterback, Nagasic.
Stephen Nagasic from Wood Creek will be over the ball. He'll only have about 35 yards.
6'1", 170. And with these All-Stars, they'll be shuffling in these players all afternoon. Little discussion going on, getting a new ball in there. Number 80 handles that for the North. Now we've got 3 receivers out here to the left. Rolling and looking back in the pass. Oh, right over the middle, and had his guy, and he dropped the ball. That was Winston. Just a little bit low, but that was a nice tight spiral, Paul.
It was. Tyler Winston should have had that ball.
Yeah.
You know, we can't appreciate the field conditions, however. The wind is blowing down there. You can't hardly see it. And it's very, very wet, so you got to give Winston a little bit of a break there. But most of the time, I think he would have caught that ball.
Right. That was right on the money. So Nagosic now hands it off to the running back. That is number 6, Carter. And he picks up a couple. That'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Brought down by Sterling
Powell making the stop. But this game moving right along is no huddle. Once again for both squads. Low snap, but looking right over the middle, and it's caught. And he breaks the tackle, and he's going to get the first down, I think. Well, it might be a little bit short. Let's see where they spot it. No, it's going to be short of a first down.
Wow, that was some great running, though, by Trevon Henderson from Grant, the wide receiver. He caught that football and had presence of mind to watch him go left, then go right, then go back left again. What some good moves, staying on his feet, Marty.
He certainly did. Okay, here's the handoff, and let's see if he got it. I think he did. That was the ball carrier was Carter from Grant, and I believe he did get the first down. Well, they had given him the first down on that previous play. I didn't think he got that far, Paul. 2 receivers flanked out to the right. Single back in the backfield, a fake, rolling out, got plenty of room, got a man open in the end zone, and it's a little bit too high.
Wow, it looked like he had a lot of running room there. I tell you what.
Winston, the intended receiver.
Stephen Nagosic might have pulled that ball down, and he might have tried for the pylon, deciding to throw the football in the back of the end zone.
Had nobody in his field of vision. Take a look at this, Paul. Now watch this.
You'll see it as this thing unfolds. That look at, there's nothing but green in front of him there. He can get at least 10 yards, but decides to throw the ball in the back of the end zone. Needs to put a little more zip on that football if it's going to make it there in time.
So it's 3rd down and about 7, and a handoff goes for a couple. That'll bring up. Oh, I got confused on the. That was 4th down. Let's see. 4th down, and they'll attempt a field goal of about 35 yards. Endicott will be high snap, put down, and this one is good.
And the 35-yard field goal.
So 35-yard field goal by Endicott puts the North back up by a score of 9-7.
Nice wind-aided field goal.
That had plenty of leg and plenty of room to spare there.
Well, he easily could have made a 45-yarder with the way that ball sailed. So there they are on the sideline, enjoying the moment in the sun they have, is what sun we have here. There's your Placer title scoreboard. The North team now scoring 9 points and leading this football game.
So once again, the North scores on their second possession. 2 for 2 and lead this ball game now by 9-7, and we still have 7 minutes and 16 seconds left to go in this first quarter.
Robert Frazier will be back to receive the kickoff once again if this ball doesn't sail out of the end zone like it did last time. No, we're going to get a return, Marty.
Yeah, it certainly is. They're a little short, taking on about the 5-yard line, trying to cut it up, gets back out to the 20-yard line.
Here's a replay of that field goal. See a good snap, about 35 yards on the button. Great leg, great extension. There's a real deal kicker. Look at that follow.
Yeah, right. No kidding.
Could have made 50 yards.
Now we're back to live action as we've got the ball on the 19-yard line. And it'll be the South for their third offensive series. Samuels, the quarterback, in the backfield. In motion is Frazier. It's handed off to Frazier. That was the touchdown play, and it takes it out to about the 26-yard. Let's see, they'll mark it at the 25, where it'll be second down and just a little over 5 yards to go. Calling the play at the line of scrimmage is Samuels.
Isaiah Williams in the backfield now, number 7 from Burbank.
The wind is picking up here now and blowing right into the face of the South quarterback, Samuels. Oh, a fumble, and he's going to get it back. He turned to pitch it to the trailing halfback, and the ball slipped right out of his hand, and he fortunately was able to fall on it, and that'll bring up third down and long.
Williams will stay in the game at halfback. Wouldn't surprise me with this group, and there's a limited number of plays that they will have worked on over their 5 practices together. Maybe they just may run the same play again.
So here's 2 backs in the backfield. Samuels now rolling, looking. Is that 7?
No, that's Frazier, number
Frazier,
4.
Okay.
Frazier finding his way out of the backfield.
He just snuck in behind the linebacker and was wide open.
And he made a good catch there. That ball is fighting the wind is why it held up. You can see in the replay now, watch. He puts pretty good zip on this ball, but it loses its momentum because of the wind. Frazier, keeping his concentration, looks that ball right in and gets a needed first down by the South team.
Great third and long pickup, and the ball's out to their own 49-yard line where it's 1st and 10. 3 receivers in the pattern. That's a handoff. Trying to turn the corner. He does, and he gets a block, and he's down the sideline. That is number 17, Harris.
Harris.
He's got some speed, doesn't he, Paul? Around that when
Kyron Harris has got himself some afterburners. He found the sideline, let his blockers do the work for him, and picked his way up the sideline for another first down and about 25 yards for the South team.
So it's 1st and 10 on the North 25-yard line as they look over to the sideline for the play. It gets sent in. All the linemen checking their wristbands for the play. They got 3 receivers out to the left. Single back in the backfield is Harris. Now he shifts off to the left. And quick pass completed. And it's going to be taking out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. That pass was to Walker.
Chanel Walker, Christian Brothers wide receiver.
And Powell comes in from Whitney High School to make that tackle.
Walker, 6'1", big wide receiver, almost 200 pounds.
So Hyde from Oakmont comes in now in the secondary.
Kyron Harris once again in the backfield from Franklin.
In motion is Williams. He gets the handoff, turns it upfield, and gets down to about the 7-yard line. Good run. He's got some great speed.
And his offensive line is blowing some holes open. You got to give credit. That was number 51, Noel Pennick from Burbank. Just absolutely blowing the left side of the line wide open, giving him some room to run.
Williams, 5'6", and he's got some speed as he turned that corner and then cut it upfield and picked up about 6 yards. So it's second down and just a little over 4. 2 backs in the backfield. There's a handoff, right side, and it goes for a couple. He's close to the first down, but it'll bring up third down.
Number 48, Jordan Vincent.
I don't think we're going to see any field goal attempts here, Marty. They're going to go for it here. It's just a few inches away. I'm surprised they're not going to measure, or maybe they are. No, they're going to just call it a first down.
First down, there you go. Looked like he was a little bit short, but it'll be first and goal now. Harris and Williams in behind quarterback Samuels.
There's a good shot at Justin Hyde from Oakmont, the defensive back.
There's a handoff left side, big hole into the end zone for a touchdown over left tackle, and Williams takes it in for the score. Boy, that hole, I think even you could have run through that, Paul.
I don't know, Marty. I'm not that fast anymore, but I'll tell you what, he certainly is. And that is a big play. Isaiah Williams from Burbank showing not only his quickness, but his power. Getting into the end zone. And Marty, when you have an all-star game, we got nothing but all-stars on the field, guess what? You're going to see a lot of scoring.
Well, no kidding. So here's the Singh now attempt the extra point. It's up, and that's good. So that, once again, another score. I think you called it right, Paul. It's going to be a high-scoring game. We're only in the first quarter, and we've got 3 minutes left to go. Here's the replay, Paul. Why don't you describe what happened
Well, from field level, we can see Williams here. He'll take the ball. And like you said, a huge hole opens up. Right here, look at this. Doesn't need a whole lot. He just has to put his head down now and get that last half yard.
Between the tackle and the left tackle and the left guard, they opened up a big hole. He was into that secondary and into the end zone with ease. And so your Placer title scoreboard shows that the South now leads by a score of 14-9 as we still have a little over 3 minutes left to go in this first quarter.
You know, Marty, in basketball, they say the first team to 100 usually wins.
Yeah.
Well, we may see that on this game. I'm sure we're going to see a score into the 50s. You watch, see how it unfolds.
There's a little squibber now. It's going to be come up short and taking that ball at about the 25 and bringing it all the way up to the 28-yard line. Smith on the return. That ball was kicked short. I think Singh is having a little bit of trouble because of that wind, Paul. That's the reason why the kicks are a little off their mark. He's got a stronger leg than that.
Kyle Coder is going to come back on the field for this next possession. Quarterback from Nevada Union, very effective with no huddle that first series.
So we got 3 receivers out here to the left. Coda now calling signals, looking, and right over the middle, almost intercepted. Going up for it was number 24. That was Hansen.
Tyree Hansen.
Yeah.
Almost had himself a pick. He's from Pleasant Grove, a linebacker, 5'10". Coda was trying to just drop that ball right over Hansen's hands. Darn near did it. His receiver
was wide open.
Absolutely.
So 2nd and 10 now for the North Coda. Handoff over the left side, and No place to go. The ball carrier was Monroe.
Number 22, Devontae Cassidy, with help from Zach Flavor.
Kasich on the tackle.
No gain, third down.
So it's third down and long of about 10 yards. Going back to pass, looking deep. He's got a man wide open and overthrows him. Oh my goodness, that was intended for Marks.
His favorite receiver, and there you see, Marty.
That wind got that, yes.
You bet, the wind affected that pass. It sailed on him. Marks has usually pretty good speed for a big man, but that one sailed over his head, and the opportunity missed. They'll be punting the football.
Yeah, he split the safety and the defensive back, and he was wide open. But that you can see where that air got underneath that ball, and it just floated right over the top of his hands. Here's the kick for the first time for the North, and it's taking in there, and there's a penalty down. It looks like it might have been an illegal block. That'll move them back. The ball was run back for a couple of yards by Williams.
That's Dazon Williams from Laguna Creek. He's a wide receiver. It looks like we're going to have a penalty flag on the field. That time they didn't get the ball up into the wind enough. He had more of an end-over-end kick. So he didn't utilize that wind position, and Williams was able to have a return and a catch. Let's see what the penalty is.
It's going to be a block in the back by the South, and that'll move them back 10 yards, and they'll take over 1st and 10. The ball will be placed on about the 26-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the South. The South seems to be moving that ball. They got 3rd and long, then they've but ever since then they've moved positive yards ever since, Paul.
Well, Williams will stay at running back, number 7. He'll be your eye back.
Quick handoff up the middle, no place to go. Maybe got a half yard. Harris, the ball. Let's go down the field to Scott Hopper. Scott?
Hey, guys, thank you very much. There's something unique down here, and that is that both head coaches have agreed to give me access to players on both sides. And I did have an opportunity to talk to Robert Frazier right after he scored his touchdown. Very excited. He'll be heading over to Butte College. Had a chance to talk to Kyle Cota from Nevada Union. He has an offer on the table from Humboldt. He considers himself an underdog, and he thinks he's underrated. And he's out here today to show everybody what he's made of. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Scott. Good coverage there. And there was a block in the back. There'll be a penalty. That was quite obvious. And they'll bring the ball back unless they're offsetting. But Cota is, Scott mentioned that he's going to Humboldt. That's my daughter graduated from Humboldt College.
You know, Humboldt would be lucky
and
to
Marissa
get him,
Dominguez graduated there too. We got to get that plug in. Nice college up there in the Redwoods.
You know, Cota is just now finding his stride too. Watching him develop both as a junior and a senior, Marty, I got to say that we don't even know how much this kid how far he can go. I think he'll be an excellent college quarterback. Very accurate arm, very quick, avoids the rush very, very well, and he's smart. He was also a leader on that NUT.
So now that brings up 3rd down and 13. The penalty was declined for that block in the back. And so now it'll be 3rd down. Then last time the South had 3rd down and long, they completed a 22-yard pass. As they got a blitz going on, going deep, and let's see if they knocked it down. That was almost completed. I think the wind got that one. Coming over on defense was Thomas that knocked that ball down, but he was beat.
You know, on the flats, though, Isaiah Sanders from Pleasant Grove, the running back, had gotten out of the backfield, and he was wide open. I'm not sure why he decided to air the ball out. He needs to take his time and look over the field more. More wide receivers are out there than just his wide out.
Well, now back to receive. Now it's a fake, and he's going to try to. They horse collared him, but did he kick it or he just threw it?
He just threw the ball. It looks like. Let's see what they decided to do. Maybe he did kick it. We'll
that was saying he.
That. Yeah, it was either a broken play or a play devised that fell apart on him. Let's see. See, he never looks like he's going to kick the football. He just takes it. He was going to go around the left end, and that was going nowhere. So then he sticks his foot out and kicks the ball from the ground.
What a play. All right, Coda's back in the ball game, and there's a screen pass. Oh, coming up and making a great defensive play was number 31, Sterling Powell. He saved a big gainer right there, Paul.
Yeah, Powell, he smelled out that screenplay before it even got going here.
A loss of about 3 yards. That'll bring up second down and about 13. So Coda now barking out the play. On the shift is Jansen. And now looking deep into over the middle, and there's like it could have been a pass interference, but they're calling for it, but they're not going to get it. Less than 1 minute to go in the first quarter here. If they're going to kick a field goal, they're going to have to get this play off. Because with the wind at their back, they wouldn't attempt a field goal, I don't think, Paul, if they were going to have to turn this around and go the other way. So here, Coda now looking over the formation. Now he's going to run it, and no, he stops, and now he's going to swing out to the right, still going, and looking to pass. No place to go, and he's run out of bounds at about the 26-yard line.
Two receivers wide open, but Coda couldn't find them. He was
running for his life.
Yeah, too busy running for his life is right, but had he looked up, he would have found two receivers in the end zone. Tyler Winston from Antelope was all by himself.
So there it's fourth down and about, let's call it 8 yards, 7 to 8 yards, and they're gonna go for it here. And looking to pass right over the middle, and they got it caught in there by Winston. That'll be for a first down.
Here's a replay of Coda. Now watch the quickness. Kyle Coda, he looks both ways, goes back across the grain. Now right here, if he looks into the end zone, he'd find a couple of receivers, but he opted to just go out of bounds, which is always a good idea.
That is the sun, just in case you're wondering.
There he is, Kyle Coda, heading for Humboldt.
I don't know what looks like. I thought they had completed that pass for a first down, but no, now they're saying that pass was ruled incomplete. Did you see that? I didn't either. All right, well, that changes the tone of the game here as the South will take over on their own 29-yard line. First and 10. They got a 31's the ball carrier, and he took a direct snap. That's Powell, and he goes close to the.
Sterling Powell takes a direct snap from center. Powell from Monterey Trail finds a little bit of running room, gets about 8.
They'll move it back up to about the 36-yard line, where it'll be second down at about 4. And the clock continues to run. They'll let it run out for the end of the first quarter as they'll get the wind at their back now. And there's your Placer title scoreboard showing the completion of the first quarter. The South leads by 5, 14-9. Very nice field here, Paul. They got this. I remember in the days we used to come out here to cover Nevada Union and Del Oro, and they had the grass field, and it was some nights it was really muddy and cold, and so this is quite an improvement out here at Del Oro. Here we got 8 ways to watch Touchdown Production sports events on Comcast Channel 11, Suddenlink Channel 16. And times reserved for those slots are 8:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, 8 and 11 on Saturday and Sunday at 10 p.m. And you can always go out to NevadaCountyTV.org and check that out. Also on Waveband, Broadband, ACTV Channel 20. And this year exclusively on YouTube.com/user/Game of the Week, you can watch all the exciting actions. And this 57th All-Star football game, I thought it was the 56th, but let me check it out here. It is 56th. And that'll be on. And don't forget, we'd like to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas from the staff here at Touchdown Productions. Santa Claus is going to be good to you there, Paul?
We're certainly hoping. I'm checking that tree out. It's pretty barren so far.
They'll come in on the 24th. Here we go. We start the second quarter. And there is a delayed handoff, which didn't go, and then being sacked for about a 3-yard loss on a direct snap. That was Powell.
I think it was a broken play, Marty. Sterling Powell didn't exactly know what he was doing.
Well, that's
as the onslaught of defenders came in to tackle him, it'll be third down now and about 8 yards.
Now the play coming in from the sideline. Everybody checks their wristband. We've got 2 backs in the backfield. And now we've got Samuels back in at quarterback. Looks like a pass rush coming up, and it's going to be caught in there by Sanders. Sanders picks up the first down and more as he goes across the 50-yard line down to about the 48-yard line, and it'll be
a first down. Damian Sanders. First time we've seen this talented wide receiver from Franklin catching the football, making a quick spin move and getting some extra yardage after the catch. Here's a replay on it. You'll see Sanders stand in there and take the catch. Good concentration, making a spin move around the defender, getting a few extra yards before he's tackled from behind.
All right, back to live action. High formation for the second time in this ball game, and a fumble. And let's just
still on the ground. It's going to be
recovered in there by Humphers. Hank Humphers,
getting his name in there. Hank Humphers
from Nevada Union, 6'2", 195 pounds,
and one of my favorite players from Nevada Union this year. He was really a steadfast player, one of the backbone players of Nevada Union. Here's a replay. This ball is on the ground for a long time.
Right.
It bounces around. No one seems to know. It's on the ground right now. No one seems to know, and it squirts out. Humphers, with the eyes wide open, scoops it up. He's thinking he wants to run with it, but it's going nowhere.
Exactly right. It's really strange to see Humphers on defense because he's such a good offensive player. They got a lot of talent. Okay, now there's going out and going out to the outside is Monroe back in the ball game as the second quarter for the North starts up, and they're in good field position. The ball on the 49-yard line of the South, and North trailing by 5. Trying to take advantage of that fumble. Now, a shovel pass to Monroe over the right side. He breaks it loose, and he cuts back into the middle. He's going to go all the way on down to about the 28-yard line. I thought if he broke that to the outside, Paul, he might have had a little bit more running room. He's got some great speed.
I don't think that play was meant to have a scoop pass like that.
No.
It was a backfield handoff. But again, these kids have only been together for 5 practices. They come from schools from all over the region, and they're just getting used to each other. They're going to make do with what they can get.
Well, there's a handoff, little juke move to the right. He picked up a couple. That's Monroe again, the ball carrier. Coming in and making that tackle. Harold. Now, once again, up to the line of scrimmage. No huddle. 2 backs in the backfield. Rolling out to his right, looking, got being chased in there, and now he's got a man in the end zone. Touch, wide open, nobody there. That was to Henderson, number 1, standing right in the corner of the end zone all by himself. Nobody was there. Henderson with the catch as Nagasic was running for his life over there on the right side of the
field. You know, you got to hand that touchdown goes to Steven Nagasic from Wood Creek. He worked that ball, found the receiver, kept his head up, and then Henderson, being as smart as he is, the Grant receiver puts himself in the back of the end zone where he can be found and catches the ball. Great touchdown pass by the North.
So now we're coming in for the extra point. Doing the holding is the quarterback, and that ball's put down, and it is good this time. Endicott makes that conversion, and now the North is back up on top. So we've got a seesaw battle going here as each time. Take a look, Paul, at what happened here.
Now watch, you see that quarterback Nagasic, he looks around, but he keeps his head up. He wants to throw a little screen pass, but he just decides to roll out, keeps his options open, thinking about running now, but now decides to launch it in the back of the end zone. And wisely, Trevin Henderson from Grant has found himself some room in the back of the end zone, just waits for the football and scores his touchdown. Good play by the blue team of the North.
You see Henderson, he just kind of cradled that ball right into his arms. There was nobody going to hit him or anything else, and he caught that. And what a play in there on a scrambling touchdown throw. There's your Placer title scoreboard here with 12:27 left to go in this second quarter. It is now 16-14 as the North back up on top. Endicott will be doing the kicking.
You got to admit, this is a fun football game to watch.
Yeah, it is.
A few fans have come out in the bad weather.
That's an onside kick. Let's see what. Oh, and this could be trouble. He's down to the 30-yard line, and I guess they didn't practice that much during the week, Paul, because they had a good chance to get it.
That's Byron Spain Jr. from Oak Ridge. Very opportunistic, number 9, and he decides to catch the ball on the bounce, sees some opening, darn near scored it, Marty.
Yeah. 6'3", he out-jumped the North squad players over there. They had a good chance of getting that ball. I didn't know if it went 10 yards or not. I couldn't tell. But so now the South in excellent field position on the ball on the 30-yard line of the North. So here we go again. Got Samuels back in the ball game as the quarterback. 2 backs in the I formation in the back. 3 receivers out. 2 left, 1 right. Now a rollout, looking, and he throws the ball into the ground. He had a lot of pressure on him. That ball was intended for number 15, Rogers.
I think Jason decided just to ground that ball.
Yeah.
That play was going nowhere. He was looking for Isaiah Williams that time, who had snuck out of the backfield.
Yeah, good coverage by the secondary for the North.
You see the players looking at their armbands. Players being called in from the sideline.
Now it's 2nd down and 10. In motion is Williams. Handed off to him, trying to go over the left side. Coming up and making a nice stop in there was LeBar.
Flag on the field.
Let's see what the looks like it's going to go against the South. That was a great defensive stop in there by LeVar as he came up and stopped that play from going anywhere. Let's see how what they're gonna mark it here.
Maybe it's time to check in with Steve Sitter here. Steve, talk to us about some interesting stats from your end.
Well, I do find it interesting to note that the average run yards for the North through that whole first quarter was only 3.1, and you look over at the South, and granted this is definitely inflated by that 71-yard run in the first series, but their running yard average is just over 11 yards per carry, and that's on top of their 13 pass yards per completed pass. They're just dominating the offense right now, and at a 60% completion ratio, they're pretty much just running all over the North's defense, running them ragged.
Oh, had a chance in there. That pass was flown out into the flat, intended for number 2 Saunders, and the defender number, I think that was number 15, Cooley, came over, had a chance. If he could have made that interception, he had an open field for 80 yards down the sideline. So that'll bring up 4th down, and they have the wind at their back. I don't know if they're going to attempt a field goal or not. It would be a 45-yard field goal, but you've got a strong wind blowing from south to north. So no, they're going to go with a 4th down play. They've got to get down to the 20-yard line for a 1st down. And Samuels comes up. Now they're going to call a timeout to talk it over. So any more interesting stats while they take a timeout here?
Well, let's see what we got here. Pass plays. The North is passing way more than the South is, certainly. They've got 13 pass plays, and they're 6 for 13. With the combination of Dagosic and Coda with just a phenomenal arm. He's doing a good amount of the passing, with Nogasek basically just kind of running interference, kind of mixing things up, trying to keep the South off balance. Spallas and Samuels really haven't done too much with only 5 total passes, but they've been for huge gains, for a 24-yard gain in there, a 10-yard gain in there. They've really come up big when the South needs them. But they're really trying to run North into the ground. The most interesting thing that I saw before the game, just looking on the roster, the South roster has 5 running backs and 5 wide receivers compared to the North All-Star team, which only has 2 running backs and 3 wide receivers. So that gives the South a lot more versatility and a lot more options on the offensive side of the ball.
Excellent comment there. Yeah, you're right. That does put him at a little bit of a disadvantage, especially when you got Kyle Coda in there, who's excellent rollout passer. So now that brings up 4th down and about 11.
4th down and 11 for the North. South.
Here's the snap. Looking down, they get into the corner of the end zone and almost pass interference, but not called.
I would say almost offensive pass interference. Let's go down to Scott Hopper on the field. Scott?
Hey, guys, thanks. I was on the other side of the field and spoke with Wood Creek quarterback Steven Nogasek, who is under scholarship to play at Oregon for baseball. I talked to him a little bit about what did he have to do to get clearance to play in this game, and he said that Oregon was very supportive. They said they were 100% behind him, and all they were looking for was a feedback is how did the game go for you? Okay, back to you guys.
Thanks, Scott. And it's the North takes over, 1st and 10 on their own 31-yard line, and there's a handoff to Carter. Carter goes around, he breaks it over the left side, down the sideline, big gain out to the 45-yard line. About a 15-yard pickup there as he turned that corner on a good block.
Those of you that watched Grant football this season saw Carter do that time and time again. Very, very effective going around the end and then picking a hole to go upfield.
On their own 47-yard line, it is 1st and 10. A pitch out, they're going to do a double reverse, and it goes around. Now they got a pass wide open, and it's complete. No, it's incomplete. Let's see. Incomplete. It looked pretty good there.
It looked good. It was a pass back to the quarterback, and unfortunately it was incomplete. Not enough time to let that play develop.
And plus throwing the ball into the wind, I think, had a little bit of. But I was watching Dominic warm up at before the game. He's got a good, strong arm. Now here's a handoff up the middle. He's going to pick up a few yards, and that's going to go for.
Now let's watch this flea flicker, and you got to see, in order to have a play like this work, you've got to have a lot of time. Your offensive line's got to give it to you. He's back a long way now, and he doesn't stop and set to throw the football. If he had stopped and set, maybe he could deliver the ball in time to actually advance it, but it's just a long, incomplete pass as it is.
Yeah, he didn't have his feet set. Now the pass out, good for a 1st down, and there that goes Jim Poley was caught that ball and out into the flat, picked up the first down, and North once again on the move on the 39-yard line.
From Rockland, second catch of the day, the wide receiver.
He looks like a very, very good player. All right, going deep over. Oh, the referee, and he still caught it. And the referee.
Austin Marks. You want to talk about concentration? Austin Marks, despite the interference from the official, catches the official. I believe it bounced right off the guy's head.
Yeah.
And then he keeps his eyes on the ball and brings it in. Great catch.
I wonder if the other referee could throw a flag for interference on that referee, because he was definitely broke up that play, but Marks hung in there.
I must say that's definitely the most entertaining 3-yard pass I've ever seen.
Okay, here we go. Second down, looking out into the flat again, and he breaks the tackle and gets all the way down to the 16-yard line. That was Dominic Giampoli on that reception. Got some good speed, Paul. Did you see him break to the outside?
Absolutely. Kept that ball and went up, kept his feet up the sideline, moved the chains. So once again, the blue team, the North team, is driving. They appear to be the best team on the field.
And the wind has picked up. A timeout is called. And we've got 9:42 left to go in this first half as the coaches for the North come over and cheering their squad on after a couple of big plays here. All kept alive by that nice play by Marks and his concentration of that ball off the referee. And so it's been quite an interesting game, Paul.
It really has. Very entertaining. Both teams utilizing their entire squad. We don't give nearly enough credit to the offense and defensive linemen. We're going to focus more on those numbers that are doing the job up front. But I got to say, so far, the North team, the blue team, has had the dominant defensive line. I think we're going to see more screen plays and more plays by the South team to offset that defensive charge in the second half.
There's a pitch to the trailing back, and he tries to turn the corner, and it's not going to be able to turn it. Good defensive play in there by number 20. That's McFadden, came up and make that stop. Being helped out in there by Aaron Ross.
Marquise Carter doing a lot of the footwork in the backfield.
Teofani comes out of the ball game on the big lineman for the North. So now it is second down and about 7. Handoff, quick hitter up the middle, nowhere to go. Stopped in there by, looks like number 21 for the South. That is Green, Marcus Green in the ball game. So now that'll bring up third down and about 5 in the shotgun formation. Looking to pass into the flat, and it's caught and then dropped in there again by Henderson. Oh, he had it, but it was just tipped away at the very last minute.
He threw the ball up and let Henderson try to make a play on it. Henderson blanketed by the defensive back. That was number 14. That's Barrick Washington from Burbank. Very good job by Barrick. And able to break that play up before they make a score. Looks like we're going to have a field goal attempt now, Marty.
They certainly are. And Lex Endicott comes in. And there's a snap, good. Put down, and it's a squirter, and it looks like it is good. It just squirted over the. Well, that was, what kind of kick would you call that, Paul?
It's a kick that he's not going to be proud of, but it still puts 3 points on the scoreboard. It barely made it over the front of the line, very low, never had any rotation on it. Marty, I can't believe it actually made it to the crossbar.
Yeah, it went on the inside and just over the crossbar, inside of the tall pole, and that was, I didn't think that was any good.
19-14 now.
5 point, no, I think that brought it up to, let's see, yeah, you're right, 19-14 on the scoreboard. And that's, there's your Placer title scoreboard here in the midway through the second quarter. North continues to lead this ball game. Back to receive is Frazier and number 17 Harris.
Here's a replay of this kick, Marty. Let's see if we can get some kind of feel for it. He kicks the ball, and look how low it is. It barely makes it over the line. And you can see how it just ekes its way.
Oh, nice camera work there. As that went right inside the goalpost there. Short kick again. Going to be fielded in there by Harris. Harris breaks to the outside, looking. And coming up and making that stop is Eric Thomas from El Camino.
Kyron Harris from Franklin, making the best of what he can do, picking the ball up off the turf. And a good return. South team will start on the...
I like what Eric Thomas did there. He held his position and just waited for the runner to come to him and didn't overcommit and was able to stop that. If he'd have got by Thomas, he could have had a big open field to run towards the end zone. So here we go now. The South with the ball on their own 31-yard line, I formation, and it's the end around to Frazier. Frazier trying to turn the corner, and he gets hammered hard in there for about a 5-yard gain. Wow, he was hit.
You can see this guy, Robert Frazier. We watched him at Elk Grove, and he may not be the biggest guy in the field, but I got to tell you, this guy is tough. He reminds me of a bulldog. He runs low to the ground. He is incredibly quick, and he gets a lot of yards after he's hit. Very strong.
5'8", 180 pounds, and he had a good head of steam going up there, but was brought down with about maybe a 5-yard gain. Once again in the I formation, quick snap, ball handed off over the left side. No place to go. It's coming up and making that stop for the North on a big play was Allen. Held that to no gain. Maybe a loss of about a yard. That'll bring up third down and about 6 yards to go for a first down.
Third and 7.
Vanderdos in the ball game for the North. There's a deep pass. He's behind his receiver, but it floats on over his hands, and that'll be an incomplete pass.
That play was incomplete because that pass was rushed. The reason? A huge charge by the defensive line. They brought everybody that time. The only players in the backfield were the 3 defensive backs. They were just bringing an all-out blitz. And, that'll bring up fourth down now for the North.
Eddie Vanderdos from Placer, 6'4", 305. He had a big rush there. So when you got him in your face, you want to make sure that you're get rid of that ball in a hurry. So that'll bring up fourth down. Single back to receive for the North. Oh, they're gonna do a short pass, and that goes. Then they're gonna get the first down. That was to Frazier. I was looking back at the
That was a direct snap at that time. And there was no question they were going to throw that football. They had no intention of kicking it. Frazier there all by himself gets the first down.
Frazier brought down by Eric Thomas.
Boy, that is. Thomas makes the tackle, but not after that big gain, and that'll bring up first and 10 on their own 46. Well, that ball sailed on him.
Foul pass incomplete.
That's Spallis. Take a look at this ball.
Yeah, watch this replay. And
Back on
Frazier,
coverage, Jordan Powell.
they're just going to get a quick slant in. And he's all by himself. There isn't even a defensive back on him.
Yeah.
He catches this football, and if the ball had been placed a little better, someplace where he could have caught it and ran with it, he might have gotten some more yardage. Who knows? But it is good enough for a first down.
Here come the South now as the ball spotted on the 49-yard line. Rolling out now, and there's a flag thrown, and it'll be a holding call. The referee was right there on top of that, and it'll be a hold. That'll bring him back.
I believe that'll be on number 51 for the South team. That'll be Noel Pennock. It was pretty obvious. He lost his man, so he decided to hold on to him rather than just let him go.
That'll bring the ball back. It'll be second down. And let's see where they spot it on the 29-yard line of the South. And so now they've got second down and about 25 to go for a first down.
About 25 for the South.
Trying to bring a play in from the sideline.
Calling out the signals is the quarterback. Shifting out now in the backfield is Harris. Handoff, right side. Oh, almost broke it. Did pick up about 4 yards.
Jordan Vinson.
Harris, the
Rio
ball
Americano, the linebacker, 6'3", managed to catch him just before he wriggles away for a long gainer.
Yeah, he had a wide open field there, Paul.
No doubt about it.
Gain of about 4 on second down. 3rd and long for the South.
3rd down and long for the South. Spallis now calling the signals. 2 backs in the backfield. Rolling out, getting a block, and now going to go again, but he could be sacked. And he gets it off, and then that ball is incomplete. Good heads-up play in there.
Pass is incomplete.
Trent managed to get that ball away just as he's in the grasp. Actually, I think if he could have fielded that ball, he might have had some room.
He did have.
It wasn't such a bad thing that it was incomplete. So now it'll be 4th down. And back in the game is the punter. This is Justin Singh. Here's a replay. And you can see he tries to get this ball away right here. That's one of those times when you don't really care if it's caught or not.
Yeah, right. I don't think they'll try that pass again this time. They'll most definitely kick it this deep in their own territory. Low snap, plenty of time, and he hits another shanker off the left side of his foot, but it gets a big roll and picking it up and going to go down the sideline with it. Let's see who that was. That was number 10 for the North. That is Thomas.
Eric Thomas from El Camino. This is a risky, but it's high reward if you can field this ball.
He picked up about 10 yards on that heads-up play.
He saw the opportunity. The ball is bouncing around. Everybody had almost given up on the kick, and he decided to pick it up and get a few yards with it. Let's see if the North can score here before half with 5 minutes to play.
It's like Coda's back in the game again. There's a handoff to Monroe over the left side. Did he fumble? Let's see. The South says he did, but he may have been down by contact. Yeah, the official's ruling that.
North continuing to go with Monroe in the backfield. Coda being very effective.
With the Character Combine 8th grade All-Star team, please go to
Riley Smith from Rio Linda in at fullback now.
For the hashtag. Once again, the Character Combine 8th
Smith,
grade
the big boy in the
All-Star
backfield, almost blocks out the sun when he comes in.
Rolling out now is Coda looking downfield. He's got his man in the flat, and that's completed to Henderson for first down, and the ball will be spotted on about the 25-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the North as they continue to drive down the field after that good return on that offside punt.
Boy, Cota likes this receiver, Henderson. He throws a dart. Now that's a typical Kyle Cota pass right there. Right on line in a place where his receiver can catch the football.
Hand off to Monroe up the middle. He gets a couple. Stopped in there by Marcus and also Green in on the tackle. That'll bring up second down and about 7. 3 receivers flanked all the way out to the left side. In motion is Smith. Oh, he comes off the field. That fooled me. I thought he was in motion. Here we go. A pass over there, almost intercepted. That was Hansen came up very quickly. Almost had an interception.
Tyree Hansen from Pleasant Grove coming across the middle, got a paw out there, Marty, but I think he, in the backside of it, thinks he might have put 2 hands up and got an interception. You're right. Here's a replay on it. Cota throws the dart and just misses the opportunity.
Yeah. So now Cota rolling out again, looking. He's got a man right over the middle, and it's knocked away nicely in there by number 1, Marcus, but I believe there was a flag thrown, and there was. I don't know what the call is yet, but nice touch in there by Cota.
It is. You know what? I think he's getting a little too risky now with his passes. He's throwing into some pretty deep coverage. 2 men were covering that time. He's going to get picked off if he keeps throwing into a crowd like that. Let's see what the penalty is here. They're talking about it with 4 minutes left on the clock. Blue would like to keep this drive going. Here's the call.
It was pass interference against the South. That'll bring up first down then.
They'll move the football halfway to the goal line and a new set of downs.
Ball will be spotted on the 11. Well, let's see what they've got going here. There's a big hole opening up there for Monroe as he cuts over the left side, and he picks up about 4 yards, and that'll bring still second down and goal. Ball spotted on about the 4-yard line.
Let's watch them give the ball back to Monroe again. He is the workhorse for the blue team, the North team. There he is again, right at the top.
And
not going to make it.
No, he came up a little bit short on that dive.
Monroe up the middle with the dive. Picks up about a yard.
Clock continues to run. 3 minutes left. Plenty of time.
Oh, here we go. 3rd down and goal. Strong formation to the right, rolling out in the pass into the flat, and he's going to be out of. Did he get his foot in?
Touchdown.
He did. There it is. Both referees signal. That goes to Sander.
Stone Sander, our Placer boy, gets himself a touchdown, and he is loving life right now. Barely got his feet down, Marty, but Stone was able to bring that ball in and get 6 points for the North.
Yeah, that was quite a play as Cota rolled out to the right. Had 2 receivers in the end zone, and Sanders be able to bring it down. There's a good kick that time, and that one is good.
And the Endicott PhD is good.
So that brings the score to 26-14. The North up here with about 2:58 left to go in this first half.
And you know, we've seen it all along, Marty. I think the North team, their defensive line is so troubling for this South team that it's going to make it tougher and tougher for them to score. But with this many All-Stars on the field from every position, you got to know that there's going to be more scoring here by the South team as we progress into the second half.
And there's a good look at your Placer title scoreboard as we're got little less than 3 minutes left to go in this first half of this exciting 56th annual anniversary all-star football game hosted by the Optimists, and their score right now is the North 26, the South 14. Good shot there of the people that have come out to brave the weather, but since the start of this ball game, it has not rained at all. The wind has picked up a little bit.
No, we really got lucky there, didn't we?
Yeah, off to the west, it still looks like there's a kind of a short kick, little pooch kick down and taken over on the 28-yard line. Falling on that ball was, I believe that was number 8, Macklin for the South. So they'll start now 1st and 10 on their own 29-yard line.
Samuels will stay at quarterback. Williams, number 7, Isaiah Williams from Burbank, he'll stay at halfback. But you can expect Samuels to be airing the football out.
He's got the wind at his back. He's got some very good receivers. And as Steve pointed out earlier, they've got a lot more talent in receivers and running back on this South team, as they're kind of heavily loaded in that area. And there's a handoff, right side to Williams. Williams turns the corner, still on his feet, gets a first down and about 13 yards. Excellent running in there by Isaiah Williams.
Wait, see the way that he found himself a hole as he stretched that defense out and then just squirted through it to get himself about 12 yards there at the end of that run.
Once he turns that corner, you got to.
Yeah, it's all you can do to catch him.
So it's 1st and 10 now on their own 44-yard line of the South. In motion is Rogers. He stops now, and they're going to have someone going to call a timeout.
No, it was offsides. It was offsides. The North team jumped over the neutral zone, and so they'll get 5 extra yards here. Also stops the clock at 2:33.
That'll bring up 1st and 5 then. There's a good shot of the crowd here at Del Oro High School. There's a pitch back. Oh, good defensive play in there by none other than, who do you think?
Hank Humphers, the Nevada Union prodigy and the son of the coach of Nevada Union, Hank. He is showing something on defense. You know, he went both ways for Nevada Union this year. I always thought he was a better defensive player than offensive player, Marty. And he's showing his stuff right now. Here it is. Let's watch the replay. Yeah. And you can see he not only pushes the defender back, but a very sure-handed tackle. He is not going to let it go. He's like a bulldog with his teeth down on someone's leg.
Yeah, well, he brought him down for a big loss of about 5 yards, so that'll bring up 2nd down and 15. Only a 3-man defensive line. In motion was Saunders, and now
it's an
interception by Thomas. Down, and he goes all the way down to the South 36-yard line. Wow, what a play that was.
Yeah, no one else was going to catch that football except for Thomas. Completely overthrown.
Knocked out of bounds by
And so the blue will take over. The North team will take over, leading 26-14 with about a minute and a half left here in the half. Let's see if they'll score again.
Got a chance to score here with take advantage of this turnover.
Gossick
back to pass, going deep on the first play. He's got a man open and just overthrew him down at the 2-yard line.
You know, I like Marty is they're not calling a lot of offensive or defensive pass interference in this game. There was a lot of hand movement there, grabbing and pushing, but they're just going to let that go today.
That was intended for Winston from Antelope High School, the wide receiver, 6'3", 178. He had beaten the defender, but unfortunately the ball was just a little bit overthrown for the North. 3 receivers Out, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Looking. Rolling out now, being chased. And that ball was intended for Jansen, but it was thrown a little bit too hard, and he could not handle it. He could have had a good chance of getting a first down on that.
Grant Jansen, the Roseville fullback, 220 pounds. You're right. I think if he had been able to place that ball a little better, he could have gotten some yardage, but unfortunately it's just an incompletion stopping the clock.
Single back in the backfield. Now looking, it's a screen pass. They got it wide open on the sideline. He got the first down and more. Down, he takes it down inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 6. That was Marquise Carter as on that screen pass. Blockers out in front, took it down the sideline, almost took it into the end zone, but great speed there.
There he is. Good shot of Marquise from Grant High School.
Grant High School, exactly.
And here he is. You can see him. Now watch him go down the sideline. He finds himself some room, and a great block right there breaks him loose for an extra 10 or 15 yards.
Back to live action, and handoff once again to Carter as he goes over the right side and picks up a couple and gets the ball down to the 5-yard line where it'll be 2nd and goal.
Under a minute now, clock ticking down. They need to get a playoff.
From the 5 for the North.
I'm
So
not
now
sure he
coming in
knows.
over center. Now they hand it off again, looking for an opening. He walks into the end zone. That is Carter just following his blockers into the end zone. A good block in there by the lead fullback from Rio Linda Smith, as he helped open up that hole over the left side, in for 6.
Well, you're sure right about that block. Smith deserves a lot of credit. That's Riley Smith, number 27. And like I said earlier, when he's in the lineup, it kind of blocks out the sun.
There's
Great big guy.
Another squibber, and it gets over the bar for the extra point. But so take a look at that replay, Paul, as you can see that block in there by Smith.
Let's see it from ground level. Now watch Smith just follow the blocker. There he is right there.
So Carter just walks it on into the end zone. 35 seconds left to go, and the North is showing some domination here at 33-14. Carter had no one laid a hand on him, I don't think, did he?
Not much. A lot of room there, a lot of room to run, that's for sure. They barely got that play off. It seemed like there was confusion when they came to the line. No one was really sure what play they were running. It was just a straight handoff there. Managed to get into the end zone. There's your Placer title scoreboard now.
Big second quarter for the North team, Paul.
No doubt about it. I don't think that we've seen the last of the South, though. You just wait till the second half. They'll make some adjustments in the locker room.
There's another squib kick. It's going to be taken up short at the 25, and oh, nice hit in there. Oh, boy. That tackle was Cooley as he came up and just laid a big hit on him as the ball carrier gets knocked out of bounds, and it'll be spotted on about the 36-yard line, where the South will have about 30 seconds to try to put some more points on the board.
Yeah, that time Stephen Rogers from Franklin, the running back from Franklin, saw an opportunity to hold the football and to run it, show a little bit of strength, and he did that.
So whistle blew. Let's see what happened here. Is starting in motion was Williams on that play. And it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Marched off against the North.
5-yard step off against the North will bring up a first down and 5.
Now they look over sideline for the play. In motion once again is Williams. And he hands it off to him, trying to turn the corner. Nowhere to go as the North comes up and just swarms in. And on that tackle was Henderson, leading the way, and then followed up by several of the North players.
He would have been much better off to have gone out of bounds.
Right, to stop the clock.
Isaiah Williams, the Burbank running back, he, I didn't think saw the opportunity to stop the clock. 20 seconds left. It forces the South to take a timeout, and they're out there in the middle of the field now. Going to try to find some way to get into field goal range. They do have one timeout left. But it would be a big boost to morale if they could go in the locker room with a score here late here in the second quarter. Here's Coach Reggie there, the North team, talking to his crew. It must be a lot of fun to play with this kind of group of athletes. You know, you've got an excellent player at every single position. And I'm sure there's some coaching being done, but more you just organize them and let them do what they do. They've had many years of football, and they're here for a reason. Try to find some way to get them to play together, put together some offense and some defense for them.
And the Optimist All-Star game allows these seniors their last high school football game they'll ever play. So it's a good opportunity to showcase themselves, too.
Sure.
Looking to pass. Now rolling out, and he throws a ball up in the air. It might be intercepted. Did he catch it before he went out of bounds?
I believe he did.
It looks like it. That looked like Carter coming up with that interception. That ball was a dying quail up there as he was off balance when he threw it.
Very ill-advised pass.
They called it incomplete. He must have gone out of bounds with it. So that'll bring up second down and long.
Well, there's only 12 seconds left on the clock, so regardless of whether the North team, the blue team, had gotten that ball.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to do much. Take a knee and go into the locker room. High formation, and they hand it off to Williams as he goes around the right side and left side, and he'll pick up a couple of yards, but that'll be the timeout. Their last timeout was called with 3 seconds left. I guess they'll try to air one into the end zone right now, Paul.
We got a quick replay here. Timeout has been called on the field. 3.5 seconds left. Here's a replay of that pass. You know, I think he was thinking he was throwing this ball out of bounds, but it just didn't get quite far enough to get out of bounds. And fortunately, it wasn't caught with feet down. And so the South team will remain in possession. 3.5 seconds left here. I'm wondering if this coach, I mean, he does have a very strong wind to work with. I wonder, maybe he's thinking he'll try to punch in a field goal from about 60 yards.
But Singh has been struggling in with this wind being what it is. And he's their only kicker on the team, and so it's they're going to try to throw a alley-oop into the end zone, I would imagine. 4 receivers in the pattern, looking and right over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted. Let's see if they're going to call an interception, but they're also going to have the halftime buzzer blow, and that'll end it here in the first half as North comes up big after an opening 3-play touchdown by the South, and it's been all North ever since. There's your Placer title scoreboard as the first half comes to an end. All North in the second half, 24 points, and it's 33 to 14 as the teams will go into the locker room.
Are the Character Combine 8th grade All-Stars. They recently played in the 8th grade All-Star Classic.
All right, you're watching exclusive coverage of the Optimist All-Star Football Game, the 56th annual, right here on the Touchdown Production Sports Network.
I'd like to let you know that these elite 8th grade athletes
Hi, I'm Jason Hommel from the JH Mint. We have boxes of silver American Eagles that people buy by the truckload to protect their portfolios from inflation. Our new X-ray F-gun can assay your gold ring in seconds. You can contact us online at jhmint.com. We have up-to-the-minute prices available in-store and online, or you can visit us in Grass Valley or down in Auburn closer to Sacramento. You can also sign up to our email newsletter at silverstockreport.com. Inflation is picking up steam and you need silver and gold to protect yourself from inflation. You can get silver and gold right here at JH Mint.
B&C is your neighborhood home and garden center for both builders and consumers. They carry everything you need. In their garden center, you'll find a complete nursery along with expert advice on trees, shrubs, perennials, and garden enhancements. They're open 7:30 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 8 to 5 on Sunday. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center in the Fowler Center, Grass Valley.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home or property? Placer Title is your local title and escrow company located right here in the heart of Nevada County. We combine the stability of a national insurer with all the benefits of on-site title and escrow professionals. Being voted the best title company by the Union Readers for the past 7 years is a true testament to our local roots and unparalleled customer service. Stop by one of our 2 convenient locations and thank you for keeping your business local.
The Hauser family reminds you if it's round, rubber, and it rolls, then you're sure to find it at Plaza Tire and Auto Service. From regular car and truck tires to small specialty tires for your trailers and golf carts, you can trust Plaza Tire has the tire for you. They stake their reputations on it every day. Plaza Tire and Auto Service. Auto repair done on your schedule, not theirs, in Penn Valley, Nevada City, and in Colfax. It's the 36 Hours of Christmas on NCTV, featuring performances by the NU Choir, the NU Band, Claude Hedgate's Christmas from the Past, the Placer-Hillman Choir and Placer-Hillman Band, and Center for the Arts Winter Dance, and many, many more. It's the 36 Hours of Christmas from 12 noon till 12 midnight, only on NCTV. And of course, brought to you by Touchdown Productions, the Foothills leader in sports television. This is Gil Dominguez saying thanks a lot for tuning in tonight. And be sure to stay with us after the game as we present the Touchdown Productions Player of the Game Award, created by Stuckey Engravers. Once again, the Touchdown Productions staff will select the best player of tonight's game and award them with a plaque created by Stuckey's. It's the Touchdown Productions Player of the Game Award coming up right after this exciting sports telecast, right here on your NorCal Game of the Week. Guys, back up to you.
All right, we're back here at halftime, and let's go down on the field with Scott Hopper. He's going to be talking with Ross Rellis Jr., the president and board chairman of this Optimist game. Scott, take it away.
Hey, thank you very much, guys. What a game we did. I'm standing here with Ross. Ross, for those of people out there that don't know what, say, the Optimist Club is, how do you explain it?
Well, the Optimist Club is a service organization, much like Kiwanis, Lions, Rotary. We serve the citizens of Sacramento and actually all over Northern California. We have we just completed last Thursday a 200 family food delivery. We delivered boxes of food and turkeys to 200 needy families. We have a golf tournament that supports different charities, well, the Roberts Family Center, a whole lot of different charities. So it is what you call a service organization made up of community-minded people that, you know, like to give their time to help others that don't have as much as we do.
And let's say that I wanted to get involved. How would I look? How would I find you to get involved in this organization?
I guess you'd call 411-91 and ask to find out for the Optimist International. We are the Optimist Club of downtown Sacramento. There's about 15 clubs in the area, all the way up to Chico. You just have to look up Optimist Club.
And how did it begin? Could you take us back?
Oh God, that was over 100 years ago, and I think it started in the Midwest, I believe. I keep wanting to say Kansas City, but I don't know. It's over 100 years.
Okay, very good.
Our club is, I believe, 75 years old in Sacramento. I think it was started in 1936.
And then how did it turn into a football game?
Well, my father and another gentleman named Bob Cassavan in 1959 took it over from the 2030 Club. They didn't want to do it, and my father had a dream of building a facility to house underprivileged children. And so at 59 they took it over, and it's been going ever. It's 56 years old, and we've been running it for 54 years.
And how did you go about selecting players? How did these kids show up here?
Well, this year the Sacramento Bee, along with the coaches, selected the players that they wanted in the game. This is our first year ever for playing it in the winter. It's always been a summer game. But one of the things that it lacked was the fact that a number of the Division I players were discouraged, I think, by the schools not to participate. And right now the colleges cannot talk to these players or they get in deep trouble. In other words, it's off limits right now. We can't even have coaches at the football game. So they're not allowed to show up here. They're not allowed to talk to the kids. After February 1 is when the kids can sign letters, what do you call it? Commitment letters to go to USC or wherever. So the Sacramento Bee and the coaches were very lucky to have both the South coaches and the North coaches have really helped us. Joe and Mike and Casey have all been very instrumental. And the Sacramento Bee, Joe Davison, now sits on my board, and they've been very instrumental. They're one of the sponsors of the football game.
Okay, and I live in Nevada County, and I'm familiar with your camp. Could you tell us about that camp?
Camp opened in 1976 from the proceeds of the football game. They're not sure who bought the camp originally, the land. The football game took it over and has been supporting it ever since. It's 220 acres. You know where it is. It's by the Molikoff Diggings,
that's right, which
is a historical site. They used to do a lot of dredging up there, gold dredging with big hydraulic stuff. And in fact, it's a historical little city, Molikoff Diggings, and that's where the camp is. And about
who attends the camp? I mean, who are the who are the users?
Well, right now we lease the camp to the Lions Club, and the Lions Club is for the deaf, I believe, and blind, both. And they have participants from Society of the Blind from Sacramento. The Optimist clubs now are able to send kids from Sacramento. We use the Robertson Family Center, uses it. Years ago, United Cerebral Palsy, muscular dystrophy. There was another camp called Sierra. There was Camp Recreation, which is a Catholic charity camp for mostly, I'm old. We call them handicapped today. It's, they have a lot of different synonyms for what the people are disadvantaged. And now we're lucky to send kids that are socially and economically disadvantaged, because now we have the money due to the game, and the Sacramento business community is absolutely incredible. Without them, this game would not exist.
Okay. How much money does an event like this raise for your organization?
Oh, I would say somewhere around $50,000. It depends. This crowd is a little sparse today.
Well, the weather isn't exactly helping us at all.
Not at all. It's cold, but we've raised as much as $60,000, and so it's worth the effort.
Now, this is the first time that that your game has been, or at least we are doing your show, your football game. Tell us about that. Why do you feel it is important to televise this game?
Because you guys wanted to do it. We're not sure, but we're happy you're here. Maybe it'll give us some more exposure. the problem with that exists with the press and the media, I mean, we love them. We get a lot of attention after the game. 3 weeks later, nobody remembers the game. What we need is all the attention 2 and 3 weeks before the game to get people to come out, because some of these kids are going to be playing pro football, and some of these kids are going to go to, you know, big colleges. We had 2 that I know of. Breach, who played in this game, got into the game, I don't remember how, did not have a scholarship, went to Cal, ended up playing 12 years as an all-pro kicker.
Well, this is what we're doing here. We have our YouTube channel, Game of the Week.
Right.
And so hopefully we'll bring some further attention on YouTube.
Right.
And people will come to the game, and maybe scouts or college coaches will go to the channel and
look it up
and see the kids and see maybe
and that's absolutely fine. We hope that works. Next year we'll be playing in the South.
Where is the? Will you be here, or you're looking for a new site?
It'll be South Sacramento, somewhere for the South side. Although this year the South is the home team, next year we're going to be playing in the South, and they won't be the home team.
Interesting.
We chose Del Oro because Casey Taylor has been fabulous to us. Mike Alberghini sits on the board, and he's coached our game a number of times. So is Casey. So what we said is we're going to play one in the North and one in the South. And then we're trying to get back to U Stadium at some point, so that'd be one in the middle. So we're going to try to alternate it between you know, the various high schools that have the facility and are willing to help us with the game.
And what is the future of this game? I mean, let's say 5 years from now, do you think you'll still be here and you're still going to keep working on this? What's the longevity of this?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah, I think someone else will take it over. I mean, my brother and I have been doing it for 40 years almost, and we've had other people that have helped along the line. A lot of good Optimist members. Have got a lot of them here today that are helping. And one of the major guys, Fred Klotson, could not be here, but we'll see. My son and my brother's son were both here today, so there's a possibility that they may want to take it over.
And how many different clubs help facilitate here at this type of an
Well,
event?
there are about 13. There's 13 to 15 clubs in the area. I don't know how many are here. 5 or 6 send people down to help with the game. Chico does, because Chico, we help support a group of kids, underprivileged, that go to the camp out of Chico. Most of the people that use the facility are from Sacramento, because that's where all the money comes from. I mean, I raised, thank God, to the business community. I've raised a little over $35,000 in just donations. And then we sell tickets to the game, and the weather didn't help us at all this year, but it's a halfway decent crowd. We probably made another $15,000.
And let's say that there are people out there that are watching this. How would they get involved in just the game? I mean, for volunteering, maybe they don't have time to get involved on a regular basis with the Optimist. Maybe they wanted to donate to the organization. Do you have a website that you would like to promote it through?
I believe so. No, I don't know, to be frank with you. We do have a website for the Optimist Club. Sacramento Optimist has a website. So they just need to contact one of the Optimist clubs and say, hey, we want to help, and we'll take all the help we can get.
I bet you will.
Absolutely.
That's good. And so, was it your father started the game?
No, my father took it over from the 2030 Club.
Okay.
2030 started it in 1957.
Okay.
And then my dad took it over in 59. And that's when we used to play all the way to the Oregon border. And we actually housed the kids for 2 weeks in the summer at UC Davis and Sac State in the dorms. And they practiced for 2 weeks. I think our biggest crowd at U Stadium was over 16,000.
So that was a larger money maker.
1962, 63, 64, and then about 10, 15 years ago, when the colleges decided that they didn't want their stars, future stars, to play in the game, and it just, it's like anything. high school football is big in the season. In the off season, it's not that big, and with weather like this, it's worse. And we are at a beautiful facility, but we're 25 miles from downtown Sacramento.
Exactly.
And so we're thinking of a school next year that is in the south section. Has got a gorgeous facility. I won't name the school at the moment, but
we don't get a breaking news story here?
No breaking at this point. We got to talk to them first. We haven't told them yet.
Oh, my
so
goodness.
we're looking at various locations, and we're looking again at City College.
And so I want to thank you very much for spending 10, 15 minutes with here, hosting us, and letting us come down and broadcast this game. What a great opportunity for us.
Glad you're here. We hope it gives us exposure. We know the Sacramento Bee did a great job this year. We've got some plans for next year to even get bigger promotion. My phone's ringing, but I'll let it ring. Anyway,
maybe it's a donor.
That would be good. We're gonna use all we can get. Anyway, it's a privilege to have Touchdown here. You guys do a good job, and we'll go from here and see what happens.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Ross, for your time. And Marty, it's back up to you for the second half.
Thank you very much, Scott. Nice interview. And we're here at halftime at Del Oro High School. The North is leading by a score of 33-14. Paul Brown, Marty Mortensen, along with Steve Sitter. And Steve, why don't you bring us up to date, if you will, on all those halftime statistics, because we've got a lot of stats in there.
Oh, that we do. The North defense has really been the story here. In between the first and second quarters, the defense really stepped it up. The South was dominating the running game, averaging about 11 yards per carry. In the second quarter, they stepped it up so much that they were only averaging 3 yards per carry in 9 carries. And that's really translated into their offense. But the statistic that's most mind-boggling to me here is the possession results. The South had the ball 5 times, and 4 out of those 5 possessions wound up in turnovers. And off of those turnovers, the North scored 17 unanswered points. And that's why they're leading by so much right now. A fumble, a turnover on downs, and 2 interceptions has just been fueling this North offense. The North's running averages are up by about 2 yards, but that's not really the story here. The story is the passing. Their completions, they were 7 for 13. That's 54%. Averaging 14.85 yards per completed pass. And that is the story of how they managed to come back and pretty much just overpower the Southern offense. They don't really have any answers. They're committing penalties. They're getting kind of frustrated. They've given up 30 penalty yards, which is twice as much as what North has given up. And, yeah, basically that's it. The North defense fueling the offense.
Well, thank you very much, Steve. And it's like I had mentioned, it's 33-14 here at halftime. Second half will be starting very shortly. Let's take a look, Paul, at this interception here.
This is what Steve was talking about right here. Now you can just see this is a completely overthrown ball and an interception here late in the second half. And this was the play that ended the second half, actually. And this is what the South has to work on at halftime here. I noticed that the North team actually is back out on the field and warming up, and we've yet to see the Red South team come back on the field yet, with only 1 minute and 14 seconds left before the end of the halftime. Another important note for the South team that I want to make a note of, the highly touted defensive lineman Zach Clyburn from Oak Ridge, who has been averaging 25.5 sacks a game, and he's been relatively quiet. I can recall maybe one pressure that Zach has put on up the middle, but I think the Red team needs to step up their defense and put some more pressure on Kyle Cota and company. And on the other side of the ball, they need to find somebody that can catch and score the football for them, put some points back on the scoreboard, and see if they can reel in this deficit before it gets too far out of hand.
Well, Paul, it looked like it was going to be a runaway there at the start of this ball game when the South took 3 plays, ran it in for a 75-yard touchdown run. I can't remember who the ball carrier was at this point in time, but it looked like the South was going to be really start to dominate this ball game. but ever since then, it's been all the North.
That is true, Marty, and I don't know exactly what you tell a coach. What does a coach say to a team that he's not used to playing with? You don't have set plays. You haven't spent an entire season practicing together. They're just getting to know each other's names, not to mention just getting to know each other's offense and defense. What does a coach say to these players to come out and motivate them? And we're going to find out. Both of these coaches on both sides have had games, all-star games before. What do you think they should be doing, Steve?
Well, if I'm the coach of the South team, I'm saying look at what the North is doing and mimic that, because the North doesn't have any turnovers. They have one turnover on downs, but they haven't really had any major miscommunications. They all seem to be playing pretty much as one cohesive unit, like you would want a football team to do. And the South just needs to find out what's the North's secret, what makes them gel, and just try and mimic that for right now.
All I got to say, Paul, is I'm glad you asked Steve that question, because when I played for about a half a year until I broke my finger and broke my nose, and that's all the football I wanted to do. So yeah, you're right. You're good to ask Steve. And we're here at halftime. Marty Mortons along with Paul Brown and Steve Sitter, and we're waiting for the start of this second half, 33-14, and like we talked about earlier, Paul, it looked like the South was going to. They got going early, and after that, it's been all turnovers, interceptions, and then also. Don't forget, you can watch this, Paul, on YouTube channel tonight at 8. What time was it going to be on?
We
8
should
o'clock.
be able to light it up by 8 o'clock on YouTube. You can go to the game of the week, and then also on NCTV tonight. You can also see it there.
And be YouTube tomorrow.
And YouTube tomorrow.
So have
right.
a lot of fans out there looking at this game, because they got a lot of talent out there on the field. And I got to say one thing is a lot of these guys, these young men, will be going on to big schools, and some of them will be maybe going to some junior college level, but they get a chance to play again next year, and we're looking for big things from them. As a lot of players that like Spencer Havner, for example, that made it up to the Green Bay Packers from Nevada Union.
Right.
And so there's a potential for these kids to do that.
And, you know, many of these kids really have shined. Some of them are just now starting to get clear as far as who they are and the kind of football player they're going to be. And I'm sure that the scouts will take a look at many of them playing tonight and maybe take a second look. Let's certainly hope so.
Well, the South team has come back onto the field, and we're about ready for the second half kickoff. And I noticed one thing, too, Paul, is that I wonder why the games went so much longer. I mean, the quarters went so much longer, is that this is the first time I noticed that the quarters are 15 minutes, just like the pros, as opposed to 12 in normal high school, 15 in college. And, well, I guess you can consider these guys are college now because they're all seniors. They will be graduating in June and heading off to their respective schools. There's a good shot of the South team as they start their warm-ups. The North was out a little bit earlier than the South, and they warmed up. They're ready to go. So referees are at the center of the field and ready for second half action, as the South has got to make a significant comeback right now, as the score here at halftime is 33-14.
And so let's all talk about the player of the game. We're going to have to choose one of these players from either team to be our Touchdown Productions Stuckey Engravers player of the game. And this, in my mind, is going to be one of the most difficult selections we make all year long. We've been told that we're going to have one from the North and one from the South. And what I think we should do is, Marty, I think you should pick the one from the South. I'll pick the one from the North. And then we'll let Steve have an override on it because, well, Steve's the stat guy here, and I think he's got a good eye for talent. So between the three heads, we'll put together two good players that will get that beautiful plaque that they will I'm thinking personally, when we start talking about players so far, you got to look at Robert Frazier from Elk Grove, the running back for the South. He has been a go-to player for the entire game for the South team. Who do you like on the North, Marty?
Well, so far Henderson has caught some key passes for the touchdown, and Also, you can't forget Brandon Monroe. I mean, he has picked up some big yardage and has made some big plays. So there's so much talent on these teams. It's hard to choose. It's going to be tough.
And how about Kyle Cota? You could also put his name certainly in there. He did a wonderful job pulling this team together. What about you, Steve? Who do you like?
From the north, I agree. Brandon Monroe is doing a great job. He's not getting the really big yardage runs, but he's the one that's always punching it right back in the end zone. And right now, that's all the North really needs to do. Just keep them back, keep them towards their own end zone, and they've got themselves a nice victory.
Well, I'll tell you, the North team will be getting the ball here. They're about ready to kick off, Marty, here. And with 30 minutes left to play, there's so much talent on these teams. They easily could pull this score to even here within just 2 possessions.
And now the ball falls off the tee as the wind is picked up here at Del Oro High School. Such a beautiful facility here. It's just too bad that the weather was not as, of course it was forecasted to be 100% chance of rain during the game, and so far no rain has fallen, which is good. The wind has picked up, and Singh will be kicking off here for the South. Let's see if he can get his leg into it this time with the wind at his back. It's going to be a short kick taken at the 15-yard line in there by Carter. Carter comes up, gets by one, breaks to the outside, got some good speed. He's going to bring it all the way on up to about the 43-yard line as he gets knocked out of bounds. And we've got a player down on the field. Let's see who that is. Shaking up a little bit there from one player from the South. That's number 22 for the South. That is Castix. I didn't see what happened on that kickoff. You can see the wind blowing on the jersey of number 24, Hansen. Trainers come over to check him out there on the field. They're going to pick. That's great.
And maybe just got the air knocked out of him.
He's heading back for the sideline there. That's good news.
It'll be interesting to see who the North puts on the field as their quarterback to start this second half.
I think they've been alternating each series with Kodak usually comes out first, and then they alternate back and forth. So let's see what happens when, and that is Koda out there. Handoff, Monroe, left side. Oh, he gets tackled in there. Nice job by number 1 Marcus for the South as he came up and tackled Monroe. And I don't think Monroe has had too many tackles like that during this season with Del Oro.
That's Keith Marcus from Burbank coming up from his defensive back position.
Rolling out now, Koda looking. He's going to be running it. Heading for the sideline, gets a block and picks up about 8 yards as he goes out of bounds at about the 47-yard line of the South, where it'll be 3rd down and about 2. So as the North shuffles in players from the sideline, it's a wholesale shuffle almost on every play, so every All-Star gets a chance to play, show his talent. There's a handoff. Monroe up the middle. He's going to go for the first down. He crosses the 35-yard line, and that'll be marked as the first down. And it is. The referee signals first down.
That time they put a big offensive lineman in the backfield to lead the way. They put Mitchell Gums from Rio Linda in the backfield. And he certainly managed to bulldoze his way for a first down.
So 1st and 10, Koda now barking out the signal, looking a quick pass, and he throws it out into Marks. Marks picks up about 3. That's about his 4th reception of the game.
Yeah, he continues to be a key receiver for Koda. The Nevada Union tight end getting a lot of time here. I'm going to throw Marks in if he can score a touchdown as one of my player of the game nominees.
So here's Coda now barking the signals and looking down, and they have a screen pass. Good block thrown in there, and it picks up some big yardage for a first down. Number 79, Gums for the North, throwing a big block as Woods was there to help out on the blocking to enable the first down. So it's once again the North on the move. 3 receivers out to the left for Coda as he calls out the plays. No huddle. I haven't seen a huddle run from either squad so far this time. There's a pass right over the middle. Got his man wide open and down to the 3-yard line. And Coda on that pass to
touchdown saving tackle by Trevor Harrow, assisted by Deshaun Williams.
Here it is. There's the replay. And watch, Coda has plenty of time to look at his receiver as he clears. That's Giappinoli as he clears. Beautiful catch and run after the catch. Here's back to live action again, Marty.
And it looks like Monroe's going to come up just a little bit short. It'll bring second down and about 1.
But Dominic Giappinoli, the Rockland wide receiver, getting a huge chunk of yardage now to put them in scoring position. It looks like they're going to get in. They do.
And that once again is Brandon Monroe from Del Oro. He's entertaining the Del Oro crowd that came out here to watch this ball game. They didn't have far to go, and he takes it in for 6. All set up by that pass play from Coda to how do you pronounce his name?
Giappinoli.
Giappinoli. Oh, well, okay. Thank you. Here's the attempted extra point. Ball spotted, up and good.
So the score now 40 points being scored by the North. Scoring quickly here. You can see it right there on the Placer Tile scoreboard. Thank you, Placer Tile, for coming to our assistance, sponsoring our scoreboard this afternoon.
Here's the replay of that touchdown run, Paul. It's a loaded backfield and a handoff to Monroe, and he just kind of follows his blockers and goes on in. Just goes low and takes it in for the 6 point. Now the rain has started to fall again. Let's go down to the field and Scott Hopper. Scott?
Thank you, guys. I wandered around the field and spoke to both head coaches from both sides, the North and the South. They both had the same sentiment, and that was to improve on the small things. On the South side, Coach stated that they were going to play to win, where the other side said they were going to try and limit the big mistakes, and the second half begins as the first half ended. Back to you guys.
Well, there's a short kickoff once again. Good field position by the South. They'll bring the ball up to about the 41-yard line, and they'll start their first series here in the second half.
I think, Marty, it's paramount that they get some kind of a score going here. They have great field position to start here, being on their own 42-yard line, but let's face it, this South team, the red team, has got to find a way into the end zone if they're going to make any kind of a football game out of this. Back in at quarterback is Jason Samuels, the Oak Ridge quarterback. Behind him, Robert Frazier from Elk Grove.
There's a quick handoff. Frazier going over the right side, turns the corner, he's got some room, and he's down to about the 38-yard line of the North. As once he breaks to the outside, Paul, he just turns on the afterburners, and he gets it going. And it's hard to bring him down. And Frazier is 5'8", 180 pounds. So
I'll tell you, we saw Elk Grove come into Nevada Union, and Touchdown Productions was there for that game. And Robert Frazier is just a nightmare. He is so quick and he's so deceptive. And once he breaks through, he's just strong enough to break those tackles and score. Triple threat, this Robert Frazier from Elk Grove.
So in the backfield now is Harris.
Ball's on the ground.
And looks like a fumble. Let's see who the South got it back.
I think Harris landed on his own fumble. Like you said, Marty, the rain is starting to come down a little bit. Big cloud formation. Looks like it's heading this direction. We'll keep an eye on that.
Second down and 10.
Play coming in from the sideline. It'll be second down and about 10 on the north 38-yard line. I formation. And handoff as the North safety and linebackers came up and crowded the line of scrimmage, and they had no place to go with that run. So it was.
That's Max Corey from Casa Robles at the bottom of that pile, the defensive lineman, 6'3", 200 pounds.
So it's third down now and about 11. Trying to get the correct play in here as this is a big third down possession. There's the snap finally. That's an end around, and there was had some room, but covering it nicely once again in there was number 11 for Labar. He's played a nice defensive game today.
Also coming in there, John Cooley from Granite Bay, number 15, the defensive back coming in there. He only had one player to beat, and he could have had some long yardage, and he very, very sure-handed tackle that time.
So now it's fourth down and about 8.
They're going to go for it on fourth down. No reason not to.
3 receivers in the pattern. Rolling out, looking, and he's got his man in the flat, and it's going to be caught down on the 25-yard line. And coming up with that reception was Walker.
Jalen Walker from Christian Brothers. Wow, what a great catch and throw that time, Marty.
It was in amongst 2 defenders, and he just pinpointed that ball right in, and catching that ball is Walker for the first down. Big fourth down conversion to keep this drive alive. In motion and a handoff, trying to go around the left side. Can't do it, being tracked down in there. Frazier, the ball carrier, and coming up and making that stop was Henderson. He's played both offensively and defensively tonight, and he's
wow.
This afternoon he's doing a great job.
He really is. We're calling his name on both sides of the ball, and that's unusual in an all-star game like this. This Grant wide receiver can really play football.
6'2", 195 pounds. Stopped that play from no yardage gain. Second down and 10. There's a quick handoff to Williams, and he squirts through and gets down for close to a first down, and he does get it all the way down to the 15-yard line. So big play in there by Williams. Henderson makes the stop. Well, that would have been a touchdown.
Little momentum shift now maybe, huh, Marty? On the red side, the South is starting to come alive. Williams with a great run there at the end, showing some real determination. There's no quitting these guys.
No.
First and 10, South ball, the North 15.
Now timeouts. Well, they're going to reset the clock, I guess. So got 8:39 left. Boy, the wind is picking up now. And there's a That's the Williams again. He's gonna make it into the end zone as he turns that corner. My, oh my, oh my. He was almost stopped at the line of scrimmage. It looked like Cooley had him at the line of scrimmage. He broke away from that tackle and just headed for the corner. Nobody laid a hand on him as Isaiah Williams comes up with a big touchdown. There he is, a good shot of Williams.
He's not a big guy like we talked about, but sure strong. And this whole offensive series, you got to hand to Williams.
Yep.
He did it pretty much on his own with some help of some great up-front blocking, but it was his determination and a good fourth down conversion that brought the South team alive here with a score here in the third quarter.
As Singh makes the extra point, and with that, the score now with 8:32 left to go in the third quarter is 40-21.
Let's watch Williams again here. This is something to watch here.
Watch how he breaks that tackle, Paul.
And watch the offensive line as they surge forward, giving him some room here. But once he steps sideways and they section off that corner, it's all Williams and his foot speed that gets him in the end zone, waiting for his block there by his wide receiver and punching it in. Great run.
Good block downfield on the safety, and that's kept him from allowing that team to allowing Williams to go into the end zone.
It wouldn't surprise me if Steve Sitter decides to give Williams one of those trophies at the end of the game here. We'll have to wait and see. But boy, that sure will spark this team up. You know, Marty, after the kickoff, we'll talk about turnovers here.
So here's the kickoff, and going deep into the end zone and out of the end zone. So Singh really got his leg into that one, and with the wind at his back, kicked that thing all the way out of the end zone.
Yeah, that ball still's going. It's going to be in Milpitas before we know it. That thing is long. But, you know, there haven't been any fumble recoveries. There's been the ball on the ground a couple of times, but in this kind of weather conditions, I think these players are doing a great job of handling the football. We've seen some nice catches, and we've seen a lot of sure-handed plays that you wouldn't think would happen in a wet field in these conditions.
And Nagosic comes back into the game as quarterback here as he and Coda are alternating. Pass deep downfield, coming over and making the catch on the comeback, and he's going to be run out of bounds, but that was Winston, number 2, as he came back. That ball was thrown into the wind, and it just kind of died, and he saw that, and he came back and made the reception and then took it for about another 8 yards, and he's out of bounds at the South 49-yard line.
There's a replay. You know, there's no holding back this guy, Mike Taylor Winston, as he comes back for the football right. What an adjustment. The ball flies, Marty.
Mike.
You can see it being held up in the wind, but he just keeps his eye on it, brings it in, and then watch this. He mugs this defensive guy right here. You think he's going to get away. Back to live action.
And carrying the ball there for the North as we come back was Jansen. And he picks up about 9 yards on that run over the right side. And once again, the South is having a hard time stopping this North offense here. Coming into the game is Marks at tight end. There is a handoff to Carter, and looks like almost a face mask call, but he did make the first down.
Yeah, it looked like he got a hand on that face mask. There's no flag.
So the ball's down to the 30-yard line. Three receivers out far right. Looking back to pass into the corner. He's got there's a little pass. Well, they're both going for the ball, so they're not going to call pass interference on that. Coming in on the defense on that was Marcus Green from Franklin. That'll bring up second down. I think this is the first game I've ever seen with it. Neither team has gone into a huddle.
They've all got their armbands.
Yep, with all the plays on them. Second down, handoff. And Carter goes, no, he's still on his feet, and he's squirming ahead for about 4 yards where he was stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah,
the way Carter got through there after, I thought he was drugged down there at the.
For a loss.
Yeah, for a loss, and all of a sudden he squirts out, gets a few extra yards there. It'll be third down and about 4.
There's that unbalanced line to the right. And that was a pass play. I don't know whether they scripted that one.
Yeah, we're going to get a replay, but we'll come back to that play. But here's Carter. Now watch Carter. This shows some real determination and some real strength. He gets drugged down by the jersey right here. And you think that he's just about ready to go down. Everybody's starting to give up on the play. And he says, no way. I'm still on my feet. I'm going to get a couple extra yards here. That's what you call a halfback right there.
And on that play that the penalty was called on, that was big Eddie Vander Doss as they made that pass. Here's the pitch. Back to Carter, and there's another flag comes in, and he that may be called back for a hold.
It is. It's going to be a hold, and it will be a hold on the north, so it'll get marched backwards. Carter not able to get too much on the play.
So Vander Doss, he goes and throws a pass, and yet I don't think he threw one all year at Placer, unless that might be a special play they put in there for him on that rollout.
I can just see Eddie coming to the coach and going, "Hey, coach, I can throw, you know."
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that play again.
I can do that. I can throw the ball 60 yards.
Well, he's an all-around fine athlete. Here we go. It's 1st and 20. There's a big hold over the left side, and that's Carter again.
Carter needed a whole bunch of yards here. It was second down and half a mile. He gets some of it back, though. It'll be third down now and about 15, or maybe closer to 20. They can get a first down at about the 3-yard line, so this is 4-down territory for them, I'm sure.
Little confusion on the offensive side of the ball here. It's 3 receivers out, and they're going to call a delay of game, maybe. Let's see, or maybe an offside. We'll have to see what happened here. Yeah, illegal procedure. So that'll march off another 5 that they just got back. Here's a pitch, and it's going to be in the round, and he's got some block. Now he's going to throw the ball into the end zone. Oh, my goodness, that went to Winston, and that's that.
Winston caught the ball. It was Dominic Gamapanoli from Rockland throwing an absolute strike as he took that reverse play, threw it right into the end zone. Beautifully done. He looked as good as any quarterback, Marty.
Well, I mentioned that. Didn't I mention that to you when they were warming up? That I said, this guy looks like he's got a tight spiral. He's got a good arm. Boy, what little did I know. And here's the ball's put down, kicked, and it is good.
47 points now for this North team.
Oh,
let's watch this and watch this. They're gonna reverse here. Now watch him. He just barely sets, but he just throws a strike. This is a BB that he throws. There it is. He doesn't even stop.
No, he didn't set his feet.
Perfect spiral pass right on the numbers.
Oh, man.
Beauty.
All Winston had to do from Antelope High School is just run there and catch it. That ball is put in there between two defenders, right on the money.
So the blue team from the north, the boys, the Northern Scourge coming in, and they are tough to stop, Marty. 47 points on the scoreboard. There it is.
Placer title scoreboard showing it. Look at this. 14 points already in this third quarter, 47-21. Well, now there's a short kick, and it's fallen on at about the 41-yard line.
This is what we saw last time. They got good field position, started last time, and they were able to score, but their defense, the South defense, just can't seem to stop this offensive lineup of stars.
Yeah, they just don't have an answer.
They really don't.
What the North is putting together here. So that'll be 1st and 10 on the 42-yard line of the South as they'll start their drive in good field position. Back in the backfield behind the quarterback is Williams. And there's a handoff to him as once again trying to turn the corner. He does. He's off to the races, picks up about 18 yards on that carry. He's been the dominant force in this offensive scheme here this afternoon.
Yeah, if this South team is a three-cylinder engine, he is one of the cylinders, no doubt. Look at him get outside these defenders, outrun them, and then once he cuts upfield, finding 15 extra yards.
Look how long he stays parallel with the line of scrimmage before he turns it up, and they still can't catch him. Excellent running back. He sets to the right. In motion now is Saunders.
And offsides, that's Robert Frazier, who was set out to the left.
That's the second time they've run that play, and both times it resulted in a 5-yard offside call. There's the good crowd, sparse crowd here, but they're seeing a great ball game in the rain.
Hardy crowd.
Yeah, I'll say that. This is the first of two games. They've got Division IV, Division V, first ever all-city football being coached by Terry Logan and Coach Savoy of Bear River. They'll be out here with their team. Bear River will have 6 players on that squad, along with the players from around the area, both north and the south. Looking forward to that game. Pete DeFore will be on hand to cover that game for you here for Touchdown Productions as we continue this doubleheader play today with this 56th anniversary All-Star Optimist football game here. 4:46 left to go in this third quarter. High snap, but looking downfield, kind of throws up a wobbler, and it's almost intercepted. And that was Thomas going back for it.
Thomas falling before the ball can get to him at the ball, getting held up somewhat. That was with the wind, Marty, so I'm not sure. That was just a bad pass, but it gets a lot of air underneath it and gives the defender time to get there and then just falls. He's lucky that ball wasn't picked off.
Yeah,
everybody misjudged that one.
Right. So that'll bring up third down and long. Big pass rush. There's a pass. And he's got his man. Did he catch it?
He got it.
He got it. All right.
That
nice
was
catch. Oh, that was just absolutely unbelievable.
That was
Spain. Byron Spain.
Wow, that was the catch of the ball game so far. Spain
from Oak Ridge, 6'3", 193 pounds, laid out and stretched out for that one. Here it is, Paul.
All right, now you want to see a great football catch by a high school athlete? Here it is, right here. The ball is thrown just out beyond his fingertips. he keeps his stride going, and then he lays it out right there, brings the ball in. Great catch.
Man, that was a great NFL catch. There is Williams, makes a spin move, turns around, and still driving into the end zone. I believe it's going to be a touchdown if they signal.
He does.
It does. Touchdown the South as Williams, Isaiah Williams, is putting on a show here for the folks from Burbank High School. 5'6", 190 pounds. And he is just about all the offense that they got going here today, with a couple of exceptions of some fine catches on some well-thrown balls. But outside of that, it's been all Williams.
But this South team is still in it, Marty.
Yep.
They've got a whole quarter of football left and then some. They're
That
just
kick
gonna,
is good.
They're going to match scores with this North team. If the South can just come up with some way that they can stop this North offense, they can get themselves back in the football game.
But the only trouble is they score, and the North comes right back and scores. Then they score, and the North comes back again. And it's just been, they just have no stopping plays at all on the defense against this fine North squad. So the North will get the ball back.
(47-28) on the scoreboard now.
There's your Placer title scoreboard, giving us the update here at 14 points apiece here in this third quarter.
You can see storm clouds in the distance.
Yeah, but those away from us aren't gonna affect us. It's the one behind us that are gonna cause the problem. These have already gone through. Just a little shower a little while ago, but here we go. Singh kicks off. That ball's going to be taken at the 1, bringing the ball up the field. And no, that was Monroe, and he gets hammered down at about the 24-yard line, where it'll be first and 10.
And we're going to say the name again. That was number 1. Keith Marcus from Burbank, the defensive back on the kickoff team, coming in and just putting a hurt on the receiver. Let's.
Yeah, Marcus is 5'10", 185 pounds, going up against Monroe, who's 6'1", 195, and he put a good lick on him, on Monroe. So here we go. Looks like Coda's back in as quarterback, and that's Monroe, and
Monroe takes the handoff.
He's right up the middle for a couple. What the South needs now is a big stop.
They need a 3-and-out right here. That would get the football back.
Good field position.
One thing the North hasn't been able to do is punt the ball very well, Marty.
No, well, against this wind, it's pretty tough. Here's Coda looking out again. Now he's got a going downfield, but that was intended for Winston.
Incomplete. Intended for Tyler Winston.
And that will bring up third down.
Coverage provided by Marcus Green.
So maybe this is what the South is needing here, is they took our advice and trying to do a 3-and-out and get the ball back. We're still with a quarter and about 18 minutes left to play of football. So Coda now comes up behind center. Shotgun formation. Monroe in the backfield, looking to block this time. Now he's going to run it, and he's got open field. He could get the first down, and I think he does.
It'll be close. He's right on the line.
Going to be close to the first down.
And they signal first down as Coda comes up with a big run.
Well, he tried to force the ball in on second down and got nothing there, so he figured he's going to pull the ball down this time. And with his great speed, Kyle Coda gets enough for the first down and start a new series.
There he goes back to pass. I got that screen pass set up as a flag comes down, but there's Monroe, and he gets out to get a first down, but I think it may be called back because of a hold. Let's see what the referees saw. That's what I saw. That's what they saw, and a flag was thrown, and that negates the nice run and pass and run by Monroe. So they'll march off 10 yards, and it'll be 1st and 20. Marty Mortensen along with Paul Brown and our good statistician here, Steve Stritter, he's doing an excellent job here today, and we'll get all those stats at the end of this ball game. He's, what did I say? Didn't I say sitter?
Close enough.
Oh, okay.
I've been called a lot of things over the years.
Okay, well, I thought I said sitter, but I guess I apologize for that, Steve. Quick pass in the flat that picks up a few, but not many good coverage in there by the back Green from Franklin.
Marcus Green on the tackle for the South.
Brings up 2nd and forever here, as they've got to go all the way to the 44-yard line. Looking as Cota rolls out, and he throws it away almost. It was intended for Winston, but he was running for his life down there. It was a good pass rush by the South. So that brings up 3rd down. What kind of play you got here, Paul?
Well, they've been very successful with the screen passes. The South is definitely bringing a lot more heat right now up the middle. That's the 3rd play we've seen them bring both linebackers. So let's see if Cota, he's going to have to throw the football. Let's see if he uses that momentum against them and goes with the screen pass.
Looking deep downfield, got a lot of room, but then coming up and making that stop. The stop Cota was Powell, as Powell came up and made that stop.
And that's just what the doctor ordered for the South. They needed a stop, and they put Kyle Cota on his back. That'll bring out the punting team. Minute 47 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Still plenty of time for these All-Stars to score a bunch of points. Let's see if they can get some good field position in the South, can continue with the offensive dominance they've had here in this 2nd half.
High snap, but he's got time, and he gets it away. It's against the wind, kind of a wobbly kick, and it's going to be rolling down and down at the 41-yard line. So once again, the South gets good field position as they'll start this next drive. Was there a flag down? Let's see what they...
I don't believe so. I think it was a good, clean kick. So let's see if the South goes back to what was working for them. They were working with Robert Frazier and Isaiah Williams, the running backs. The running game seems to be working. They've been getting around that right side, and a lot of yardage being picked up. If it ain't broke, let's not fix it. Let's go back to what was working.
So I think the ball was touched earlier, and I think that's what, are they going to move the ball?
We've got offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Which means the South is going to start this drive from their 41.
And that's where they'll spot the ball, right about the 41, Marty.
Back in at quarterback now is Samuels. And Harris is back in the backfield. Plays being called in from the sideline. Someone might have left early, but I don't think they're going to call it. But short yardage.
That's a face mask.
Yeah.
That's face mask. Harris taking it over the left side. This is not what the blue team needs right now. The North is going to be penalized 10 yards.
So I was just wondering if there was a hold against the South and a personal foul. Face mask against the North, they'll offset and start it back over again.
They'll replay first down.
That was a heartbreaker for the South, as they could have used that extra 15 yards. Back in the game now is Williams.
Less than a minute left here in the third quarter. They need to get this play off. If they're going to do it within this quarter, they've got plenty of time, 40 seconds.
I think everybody's ready now as Samuels comes in over the ball and he fakes a handoff and he rolls out and he throws a kind of a little mini screen to Rogers, and Rogers takes it down close to the first down marker.
That's the first reception we've seen from Stephen Rogers from Franklin today. And Rogers, who picked up a kickoff earlier. 6 seconds left. They're not going to get this off unless they snap it immediately.
And they get it. No, well, the horn sounds, but still on his feet is Harris. Harris gets the.
It's Isaiah Williams, number 7, carrying the ball, and they're gonna say he was pushed out of bounds just in time for the third quarter to end.
That's going to send us to quarter number 4.
As both teams will come to the sideline, get a little water, and they'll figure out.
There's your Placer title scoreboard here at the end of the third quarter. 47-28 in favor of the North. And so now they'll switch sides, come back out for the next 15 minutes of play, and the South trailing by 19 has got a chance to get back in this ball game. Don't forget to join us on Christmas Eve as we begin 36 hours of Christmas in Nevada County as NCTV celebrates the holidays with the sights and sounds of Christmas. You'll see performances by the Nevada Union Choir, the Center for the Arts, Winter Dance, and the Nevada Union Band and Placer High School Choir and Band. It's 36 hours of Christmas programs from noon Christmas till into midnight Christmas Day, only on NCTV Community Television for Nevada County. There's a good shot of the crowd there. Some people are dressed up a lot warmer than others and holding the blankets around them. And there's a guy that didn't get the memo that it's wintertime and he's wearing shorts out there.
He's got a jacket on and shorts on and then boots. That's kind of a special wardrobe here.
Yeah, right. So now the sun peeks through the clouds, and it's 1st and 10 for the South on the North 42-yard line. In motion is Frazier. Now there's another offside. That's the third time that's happened tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. It's almost like night when the sun's not out, and now the sun comes out, so it's back to daytime again. First time we've seen shadows on the field. Now it's 1st and 5.
1st and 5 for the South.
Handoff right off the middle. And that is, let's see who the ball carrier was there. That's number 17, Harris.
Kylan Harris, the ball carrier.
Oh.
He is stopped by Tyler Arnott.
They will move the chains on that. It'll be 1st down now for the South.
Harris picks up a 1st down for the South.
New play coming in from the sideline. If you're wondering why the players are standing motionless, staring on the sideline, now they'll check their armbands.
I formation. Handoff. That's to Harris. He tries to break it to the outside, can't do it. Coming up is for the North was number 48. That is Vincent from Rio Americana, the linebacker, 6'3", 200 pounds. Corralled him and threw him for a loss of about 5.
Isaiah Williams continues to be the big ball carrier. Williams from Burbank.
In motion now is Sanders. And, oh, boy, that play goes nowhere. They lose another 3 yards. Toma comes up and in on that tackle for the North. Eddie Vanderdoes in there also. Big number 47 from Placer High School. 6'4", 305 pounds. I'm glad I'm sitting up here, Paul, and not down there trying to run against him, huh? So it's third down and about 18 now. Let's see if they put it in the air. Over center now is Samuels. He's going back to pass, big rush, looking long, and there's going to be a flag thrown on Henderson, as going out for that pass was Frazier, and he was pushed down to the ground before the ball got there.
Trevon Henderson from Grant. You know, I don't know if I agree with this call. I think they just got feet tangled. Whether he actually interfered with the receiver is kind of a question for the officials, but they're going to march off 10 yards.
That'll bring up a first down. That was a big, big play right there to keep this drive alive.
That was huge. They were going nowhere fast. In fact, they were going backwards faster than they were going forwards. And that play just bailed them out. So new life now for the South. Down 28-47 here. 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
All right, Samuels comes up to the over center, I formation with Harris in the backfield, and now they're going to call a timeout as the coach comes out and says, okay, let's talk it over here.
Well, I think it's a good timeout now by the coach. He hasn't had a lot of success with anything he's run here the last few plays, and like we said, if he hadn't been bailed out by the defensive pass interference call, he wouldn't have this new set of downs. But the fact is now they had their running backs working quite well early on in the third quarter, and now they're going nowhere, Marty. I think it may be in their play calling, to tell you the truth. They need to go back around the outside where they were so successful, run their good backs, run Frazier, run Isaiah Williams, and continue pounding at this defensive line.
There's your Placer title scoreboard. So far, no scoring in the fourth quarter. Still 47-28. Timeout called on the field. Let's go down on field to Scott Hopper. Scott?
Hey, thanks, guys. I want to just fill you in. Injuries, we haven't seen many. We did see maybe 5-6 plays ago, Hank Humphers limping off the field as one of the few injuries today. He had a player land on him. He's fine. He will be back. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Good news to hear about that he's okay, and we'll be back in the lineup. So here come the South on first and 10. Deep into the north territory. There's a little pass thrown out, and is it caught? It looks like it is. What a play in there once again by Jalen Walker from Christian Brothers. Comes up, the wide receiver, 6'1", 185 pounds, stretches out and catches that nice touch pass that was thrown by Samuels. And that'll be first and goal.
Marty, they must have seen something on the sideline because the coach came in and called that play. They said, let's let Jalen Walker beat his defender. Just throw it out for him and let him go get the football, and he did. Great play. They're in scoring position now. They need to get in the end zone in a hurry. And they do.
Look at that. That was easy handoff, untouched. That was Harris going in for the score, as that was that made that look too easy, didn't it?
Boy, and all of a sudden we've got ourselves a football game.
Certainly do.
12 minutes and 33 seconds left here. The South getting in. They're going to be, currently it's 34-47. And the way these two teams are scoring, that is nothing here with 12 minutes and 33 seconds left. Now, it looks like they're going to leave the quarterback on the field. Maybe they're going to go for two.
They're going to go for two, yeah, I think so, to try to make it a two-score ball game with a touchdown and a field goal. They could tie this up if they can get these 2 points. A timeout's going to be called again.
Here's a replay. Let's take a look at Walker as he stretches out and gets this pass. It's a great little touch pass. He lets go of this football long before he makes his break. And there it is. It's got to be perfect. Oh, what great camera work we've got.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
Jalen Walker, number 12 from Christian Brothers. And that is some good camera work by our field team there.
That was Gerald Davenport on the camera for that shot. Excellent, excellent job done there. And Justin Hyde, number 14, was the defensive back that was just couldn't reach that ball as it went over his hand. There it is right there, and nice catch in there by Walker. And nice camera work. Excellent.
So now we've got an interesting situation. I'm not sure why they're going for 2 points here.
Well, by going for two, you made it a two-score ball game if they can get it, because they've got a touchdown, a field goal, and another 2-point conversion, and the game's tied.
And it eliminates the need for a 2-point conversion later on down the road. You know, let's see if they can get it here. They've got some momentum going. Here's our scoreboard.
Placer title scoreboard showing the score. Now if they can make it now with the 2 points.
Look for another touch pass out here to Walker.
Harris in the backfield in motion and then rolling out. He got him open there. Oh, and he had him wide open. That was Rogers. And Rogers was in motion, and then he cut right across the end zone and just didn't get the ball to him. So the score then remains at 47-34 as Placer title scoreboard indicates, as we still got a ball game with 12 minutes and 33 seconds left to go. So it's been a back and forth ball game, and it's closing in on the 100 points you predicted that would be scored.
Let's see that catch again. That's such great camera work, and it's a beautiful catch. Once again, this is number 12, Jalen Walker from Christian Brothers. And let's watch him stretch out, keep his concentration, bring that ball in. You got to love it. If you don't like that, that's as good as high school football gets.
And Hyde had an excellent position on him, but the ball was so well thrown, and that extra effort by Walker on that stretch, that puts him right back in the ball game. So there's your Placer title scoreboard, 47-34.
We had an onside kick here, unable to recover.
So once again, the North gets good field position.
That was number 20, Torrey Watson from Mariloma coming in, darting in there, the defensive back, to get that onside kick. So it looks like they're going to put Cota back on the field, Marty. Not able.
No. It's Stephen Lakosek looking to pass again. Got a man wide open. That is Winston, and he's picks up about 6 yards.
Lakosek throwing the dart out to Winston, staying in bounds wisely. With this kind of field position, if the North can get in one more time, they may be able to seal the deal.
Quick pass, and it's caught in there by Henderson. Henderson stopped right there by number 21, and that is Marcus Green on the defense, coming up and stopping him. Got enough for the first down.
That was the same play to the left side that they just threw to the right. Just a quick out slant, real tough to defend. And Lakosek throwing it right on target.
Lakosek barking out the signals here is oh, come, fooled me, and that was carrying the ball.
Oh, the ball's on the ground. The ball's on the ground. It's been picked up. Still going.
Recovered in there by Deschamps.
Boy, everybody's about ready to give this football game to the North. And at the end of the run, he coughs the football, goes straight up in the air, and recovered by the South.
Let's take a look at this play, Paul. It fooled me. I thought he was going to keep it to throw a pass. Now watch his handoff.
Steve Sitter, let's see if we can get the number who recovers this fumble. But right here, bang, the ball goes up in the air, and recovering it.
Number 29,
number
that
29,
is Williams.
Deshaun Williams. Wide receiver out of Laguna Creek, playing some good defense.
Yes, he is.
Not expecting to catch a pass there.
So there's life breathed into the red South team as they'll go back on offense, Marty.
Let's see if they can capitalize here. There's a quick handoff, and that goes to Frazier. And Frazier stopped for a couple of yards.
Frazier getting a few yards. It'll be second down and about 8 now. South team driving, changing the play. Trent wants to do something different. He's under center now, out of the shotgun. Quick pass to the outside, incomplete.
It was a very dangerous pass there.
Very dangerous pass. That was Byron Spain Jr., the Oak Ridge wide receiver, not able to get that pass. It'll bring up third down and long now for the South. Clock stopped at about 10 minutes and 30 seconds. South team needs to convert, and with 2 scores needed, they may take this to the 4th down here, even though it's not in great field position.
No, that wouldn't surprise me neither.
Spalis calling for the ball, rolling out, looking for his receiver right. And it is a reception, but not enough yardage for the 1st down. Robert Frazier out there on the left, but Robert didn't make his pattern long enough to get what was needed, what was a 1st down, so it will bring up a 4th down on about 5. And they will bring the punting team out on the field.
You have to wonder if maybe this isn't another trick like they pulled in the first half.
Well, the field position wouldn't appear that they would try something like that, Steve. Let's see. They need a good punt here and a hold. Jalen Walker back to do the punting, and another bad kick. This is as bad as it was last time, and it's going to be fielded. This could go for a score. It will. Coming in, taking the bad, that's Trevon Henderson from Grant High School. Very opportunistic. Trevon Henderson, after the incredibly bad spinner kick off the side of his foot, takes the ball down the sideline and puts it in for a touchdown for the South, and the Blue continue to dominate this second half.
Yeah, Singh's having a really hard time getting good punts off. That's his 3rd punt of the day, averaging right around 4 yards per punt.
Averaging about 4 yards per punt. That's not good, huh, Steve?
No, and I don't even think you can attribute that entirely to the wind.
Yeah, he's struggled all day long today. Singh has, and I think that's probably. Is that one good? Yep, it's squirted through.
So while you're away, Marty.
Yeah, looks like I missed all.
Yes.
Missed all the action.
We're going to have a
replay.
Let's take a look at the replay of this touchdown here. And this punt is awful. Let's just face it. It's just awful. It goes off the side of his foot. It's a bad drop. And you can see it just on the bare side of the screen here as it's spinning. And everybody kind of gives up on the ball, but not the offensive or the defensive player. And that is number 1, Trevon Henderson. And he just picks it up, sees the end zone, and brings it home.
Well, that was quite a play there. That's his second punt that ended up like that.
Yeah, second.
The other one went out of bounds. That's too bad because
yeah, they had something going.
Yeah, they did. That's Placer title scoreboard shows the North winning by 54 to 34.
Ball goes in the end zone.
Again with that wind at your back. It's that's going to happen. Just when you thought the South had built up some momentum, Paul, they ended up having that happen to them. So they'll start from their own 20-yard line. We've got 9:32 left to go in this ball game. (54-34) your score here, as the South will start another drive, and now there's a direct snap and trying to take it around the right side, and it's going to be close to a first down.
Getting about 6 yards. That was Henderson.
And pick up about 5 on first down.
And Marty, I can see the South team is just a bit deflated now.
Yeah, they certainly are. They had it going there, and they got back in this ball game. So now Powell is taking a direct snap. Sterling Powell. In motion as Frazier, and Frazier gets a bad handoff, falls on the ball, and close to the first down.
Sterling Powell, number 31, who is taking the direct slaps. His position is linebacker on our program. He is from Monterey Trail, 6 foot, 180-pound senior. But this gives them the opportunity, I suppose, to spread the field. I think the South now is looking for anything that might work. They need a score, and they need it quickly.
There's a handoff to Frazier, and that just goes nowhere. That'll be a loss of about 4 yards, and that'll bring up third down and about fourth down and 6.
So I'm not sure why they're not putting Samuels back in.
He looks like he's coming back into the ball game right now.
Here he comes now.
This is fourth down, so.
And you know one thing they're not going to do, they're not going to punt.
I was going to say. I was just thinking the same thing, that they're probably not going to bring Singh in to punt.
If they could have that play over again, I'm sure they would have gone for it on 4th down and 4 rather than punt that.
All right, 2 backs in the backfield, and Samuel now looking. He's got he just overthrows, and no chance to get the ball out to Sanders, and then that'll bring up change of possession. And boy, once again, the North is in great field position. They've got the ball on the 24-yard line of the South, and excellent position. Yeah, you can see the way they're walking. The South players are walking off the field and everything else. They're kind of lost their
enthusiasm for the game, no doubt about it.
I'm thinking the same thing.
With 7 minutes left. Now good field position.
So there's a direct handoff, and it goes to, I didn't see who got, no, they're going quickly again now. The ball carrier was Jansen. There he gets it again, driving forward. They're just going to keep that ball on the ground now.
3rd down and short.
It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 1.
They'll probably run the same play again. They got the same formation, so let's see what they do. Oh, it's a pitch. Trying to turn the corner, cuts it back in, and he could go all the way. He's down to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown from Brandon Monroe as he put the moves on there. There he shows his talent that the Del Oro fans saw all year long here at this great Eagle Stadium.
And you'd have to say that the guillotine blade has now come down on the red team of the South. Those All-Stars, they put up a good struggle here, but a couple of turnovers here late in the game and an errant punt. Now Brandon Monroe puts the end to it. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left. The Blue North leading 61-34 late here in the fourth quarter.
And Paul, as your prognostication at the start of this game, you had forecasted a 100 points, and it's closing in on it.
It sure is. Here's a replay of that run here at the end, Marty. Let's take a look at that.
Watch how he makes those moves. Oh, there's
right
the end
there
of
at the end, yeah.
He's hard to bring down. He's so deceptive as he moves both left and the right, and it's he is just a all-around fine ball player.
South will line up now to receive the kickoff.
6:20 left to go in this ball game. 95 points have been scored so far. And coming up and getting the ball, that's Frazier. And he breaks it.
Room.
Oh, coming up and making a touchdown-saving tackle. That was number 16. That was Wharton from Del Oro. The crowd goes wild across the way as that's one of their local favorites here.
But Robert Frazier, you got to love this guy.
Oh, yeah.
He does not give anything up here. It's not the time that you think they're going to lay down. He shows up with a return like that. That's the kind of guy you'd like to have on your football team. The South looking over the field.
There's a quick handoff up the middle, and the ball's taken by Rogers as he picks up about 5 yards. And that'll bring up second down. Just a little over 4.
Pick up a 4 on first down. Second down, 6.
Svalis, the quarterback, in there now. And here comes the handoff to Williams. Williams turns the corner, gets close to the first down.
And they will move the chains here. Mercifully, the clock continues to run as Williams goes around the right side. Many of these seniors will be playing their last plays from scrimmage. Some of them never putting pads back on again. Some of them going on to play collegiate ball. Maybe even perhaps beyond that.
There's a handoff, and that goes to Harris, and Harris is stopped with little or no gain there.
Brought down and near the line of scrimmage.
So the clock continues to run as the foregone conclusion on the final score. I'd like to see you make your 100-yard prediction there. 100-point prediction there, Paul.
Well, it's been an excellent football game. We've seen some great athletes
making some great plays.
We really have. We've seen some very, very good football play here today, despite the conditions.
There's a pass out to Walker, and Walker gets close to the first down, and I think he got it.
Now they'll move the chains.
First down for the South, ball at the North 40.
There's a great Spalas.
There's a quick handoff to Williams, and he gets crushed at the line of scrimmage. Wow. Coming up and making that tackle was, first one to hit him was, looks like 76 for the North. That is Corey. He's played a great defensive game today.
Also down at the bottom of that pile, number 57, J.J. Tufu from Del Campo. Give a little credit where credit is due.
Timeout South.
And now a timeout has been called.
Don't forget to join us on Christmas Eve as we begin 36 hours of Christmas in Nevada County as NCTV celebrates their holidays with the sights and sound of Christmas. You'll see performances by the Nevada Union Choir, the Center for the Arts Winter Dance, the Nevada Union Band, Placer High School Choir and Band. It's 36 hours of Christmas programs from noon Christmas Eve till midnight Christmas Day, only on NCTV, community television for Nevada County.
So let's talk about the player of the game, gentlemen. We've got to make that decision here. Oh my goodness, what have we got here?
I mean,
it's freezing out there. This is killing me.
I'm freezing in the press box with my jacket on.
Is that Gil Dominguez? No, I guess that's not Gil. He's got, yeah, no. But this guy out is
a little camera time.
Yeah,
that's a tough way to get it, isn't it?
And he's definitely not going to be the player of the game.
No, I can tell you that.
But let's talk about that. And we're all going to pick a player. For the blue, for the North, there's two players that come to mind. I think Kyle Cota, quarterback, the Nevada Union quarterback, did an exceptional job. When he was on the playing field, it seemed like they did a wonderful amount of scoring. The other player for the South would be Robert Frazier or Isaiah Williams. The two running backs did a wonderful job for the South. Steve, what do you think?
Oh, Isaiah Williams is definitely my choice.
No doubt about it. And Henderson is both offense and defense, played on both sides of the ball for the North. And those two guys get my vote, Henderson and Williams.
So is that what's going to be, Marty? Are we going to stay? We're not going to go with Cota. We're going to go with Henderson.
Yeah, I think Henderson.
You're right about the fact that Henderson was excellent on both sides of the football.
Exactly.
And when you're in an all-star game, if you're allowed to play both ways, it says something. But it actually be an impact player on both sides of the ball. Yeah. We're going to give it to Trevon Henderson of Grant High School
and Isaiah Williams of on the South team, and they've played it. Oh, was that a backward pass? I think they're saying it was. And good save in there by Walker. And I think our selections correspond to the player of the game by the Sacramento Bee is going to announce that both Henderson and Williams were the two players from both the North and the South who got their votes. So
number
one for Henderson. Trevon Grant, wide receiver, 6'2", 195. There's a pass out into the flat. That goes to that goes to Walker, and Walker takes it on down out of bounds at about the 19-yard line, where it'll be close to a first down. And our other player of the game from the South is Isaiah Williams,
number 7,
and he's number 7, Burbank High School. Rolling out, looking, but being run and coming up with a fumble on that play was number 30, Sander from Placer High School. Picks that ball up, 6'5", 225-pound defensive lineman, and that just about puts the icing on the cake, Paul, as we probably won't see our 100 points scored, but we're very close to it. And the North will take over, and there's our Touchdown Production Player of the Game Award presented by Stuckey Jewelers. We've got for the North, we got number 1, Trevon Henderson. And number 11 for the South, Isaiah Williams. They're a player of the game. They'll be able to get that nice plaque from engraved by Stuckey Jewelers. There's the handoff. Big hole, right side. Carrying the ball is Carter. And he gets up to about the 44-yard line of the North. And it'll be 1st and 10 as the clock stops temporarily, and it's restarted again with 1:30 left to go in this ball game. It's been quite a ball game, Paul. It was great to work with you again, and we've got Steve Sitter doing the stats over here for us, so that's excellent.
Yeah, the weather cooperated with us.
Just a
during
little
this game.
teeny shower is all we had.
That's all we had today. We were worried about the monsoon coming in, and that never really happened.
And there's on the carry is Carter again, the Grant ball carrier, and he picks up a couple.
Ball's down at the north 48 yard.
They'll probably run one more play, and that'll just about do it. As the North puts on quite an offensive show here today.
They may decide to just take a knee here, Marty, with 27 seconds left.
They're going to take the clock all the way down, and then this will probably be the last play of the game. And it's a handoff. Carter around the right side, picks up the first down, stop the clock for to reset the chains, and that should just about do it as it counts down. And there they are. The players will come to the center of the field, and this 56th Optimist All-Star football game sponsored by the Sacramento Bee. There's Casey Taylor, who played in this game in, what year was that, 1988? And quite a nice tribute here to these All-Stars as they come out here and put on quite a show for everybody on this 56th anniversary of these Optimist ball game. There's your Placer title scoreboard, 61-34, and we'd like to remind you that you're watching exclusive coverage of the 56th annual Optimist All-Star Football Classic right here on the Touchdown Production Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Jason Hommel from the JH Mint. We have boxes of silver American Eagles that people buy by the truckload to protect their portfolios from inflation. Our new X-ray F-gun can assay your gold ring in seconds. You can contact us online at jhmint.com. We have up-to-the-minute prices available in-store and online, or you can visit us in Grass Valley, down in Auburn, closer to Sacramento. You can also sign up to our email newsletter at silverstockreport.com. Inflation is picking up steam, and you need silver and gold to protect yourself from inflation. You can get silver and gold right here at JH Mint.
B&C is your neighborhood home and garden center for both builders and consumers. They carry everything you need. In their garden center, you'll find a complete nursery along with expert advice on trees, shrubs, perennials, and garden enhancements. They're open 7:30 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 8 to 5 on Sunday. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center in the Fowler Center, Grass Valley.
Are you ready to buy or sell your home or property? Placer Title's your local title and escrow company located right here in the heart of Nevada County. We combine the stability of a national insurer with all the benefits of on-site title and escrow professionals. Being voted the best title company by the union readers for the past 7 years is a true testament to our local roots and unparalleled customer service. Stop by one of our 2 convenient locations, and thank you for keeping your business local.
The Hauser family reminds you if it's round, rubber, and it rolls, then you're sure to find it at Plaza Tire and Auto Service. From regular car and truck tires to small specialty tires for your trailers and golf carts, you can trust Plaza Tire has the tire for you. They stake their reputations on it every day. Plaza Tire and Auto Service. Auto repair done on your schedule, not theirs, in Penn Valley, Nevada City, and in Colfax.
Those are your players of the game from the north. Trayvon Henderson from the south.
We're down on the center of the field. They just announced the Sacramento Bees players of the game, the same as ours, and they'll continue with the announcements. Henderson for the north and Williams for the south, as the players are standing out there, getting their picture taken and celebrating there. There's the Optimist North team. All right, Paul, you came out at the start of this game, said there was going to be a high-scoring affair. You were not wrong with that. So how do you elaborate on your prediction earlier?
Well, how could it not be, Marty? We saw some wonderful athletes playing, some of them seniors, some of them playing their last time they ever put on pads, and you know there was going to be a big effort out there. And these offensive players, you know, we saw some wonderful running backs carrying the football today. It was everything that everybody could imagine it would be, and the crowd got every penny of their money's worth today.
Certainly did, and I agree with you 100%. Both the Optimist won, along with both these squads and these seniors. I think that Steve's got some final stats for us. Steve, why don't you lay those on us?
Well, it's basically the same thing that happened at the end of the first half. The North defense sparked the North offense. They managed to hold, in the fourth quarter, they managed to hold the South running game to just 1.9 yards per carry. And that's really what shut them down, because just as they were starting to find some life, especially with Isaiah running on the outside, just beating linebackers in a dead sprint, they managed to contain him, keep the running game right in the center, and the South really just didn't have an answer. As far as the passing goes, they were okay, 5 for 8, 11 yards per completion, and that's not bad, but it wasn't enough to shut down the North's overpowering defense.
Yeah, the North came out, like we had mentioned earlier, it looked like it was going to be all South at the start of this ball game. On the third play from scrimmage, they scored a touchdown, but then after that, the North took over. The defense was very strong. Offense came roaring out, and the final score of today's game was the North 61 and the South 34. So 95 points scored, and we'd like to let you know that your executive producer and director for today's game was Gilbert M. Dominguez. Titles and replay provided by Daniel Paddock. Camera operators doing an excellent job out there under these conditions. Gerald Davenport, Ruben Polanski, and Remington King. Your announcers for this afternoon's game is 56th All-Star Optimist game, Marty Mortensen, Paul Brown, Steve Sitter, and Scott Hopper. Office manager, Lynn Dominguez. Remote facilities provided by the Commander 2. Technical equipment, Grass Valley, 50 years of TV innovation. Touchdown accounting is provided by Cinto Graciano LLP, voted Nevada County's very best. Player of the Game Award, Touchdown Productions and Stuckey Engravers. Scoreboard sponsor today's game, Placer Title. Commander Maintenance provided by Plaza Tire and Auto Service, along with Reeby's Auto Parts. And we'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas from all of us here at Touchdown Productions. Marty Mortensen, along with Paul Brown, Steve Sitter, Scott Hopper, and the entire Touchdown Production crew. I'd like to thank you for joining us for this 56th Anniversary All-Star Optimist football game. See you next time on your NorCal Game of the Week.